Welcome, everybody. Normally, this would be a night shift live stream, which we're probably going to be doing tomorrow after the Navy game, which is actually in almost 24 hours from now. But today, we're watching a big moment for UCF Women's Soccer as they face number one seed UCLA in the second round of the NCAA Tournament. We are currently watching along on ESPN Plus right now. I'm Bryson Turner, and joining me is Eric Lopez, who's been tracking some pretty nice developments within the world of UCF sports today. How you doing, Eric?
Kind of crazy. Just got done out of the UCF basketball post game from the Bahamas after the overtime win against Oklahoma State, where I'm actually going to upload the post game presser from Johnny Dawkins and Taylor Hendricks on our YouTube channel. So I'll let you know as soon as that is up so you can watch that as well, Bryson. It's been a busy day. Volleyball swept East Carolina. Men's basketball, huge overtime win, which we'll talk about as this throughout the show. Big win over Oklahoma State. But obviously, women's soccer second round NCAA tournament match against UCLA. We were going to start right as the match started, but, basketball went to overtime. You've watched the first 10, 15 minutes of this match, Bryson, so far. And early on, the story was Caroline Delisle made a big save early, didn't she?
Yeah. Yes, sir. I honestly think that because she is actually very close. I looked at her stats coming into this game. She has 224 saves, which means that she is 7 saves away, Eric Lopez, from tying the career mark of Vera Veras for all-time saves. So I would really say that Caroline Delisle is the best goalkeeper this franchise has seen since Alini. I think she's right on par with Vera, if not surpassing her at this point.
Ooh, that's
I mean, she's made her case, and she has another year of eligibility left if she decides to
well,
use
that's
it.
going to be that'll be the interesting question whenever this run ends. Is does she come back? Does she not come back? We'll see how all that goes as far as that's concerned. But we'll see. Right now, they're more focused about this match. Look, they're playing a UCLA team that's one of the top, one of the 4 favorites really to win the national championship. And the interesting storyline is right now they're UCLA has possession. UCLA, by the way, got those beautiful blue colors of UCLA. It's like I love those colors, and then UCF's in their whites with the black numbers. But UCLA is a team that's a national title contender. They have a first-year head coach who was a longtime assistant at Stanford who took over for Amanda Cromwell, Bryson, the former UCF head coach, when she took the Orlando Pride job. I'm curious, and one of the, I don't know if we'll know the answer, but I'm curious what's going through Amanda Cromwell's mind. And if she's in this match, I've been told by sources she's in California. I wonder if she went to this match or not. But they're an explosive team, UCLA, and I'm curious. UCF's got to kind of keep this close. I think win the time of possession. And I think this is where Daria Rajay has to have a big match like she did last week in the win against NC State. Control the pace of this match and control tempo. Right now, UCLA has possession as we're about to go in the 15 minutes into the match here. But I think that's the key. And Delisle has to be big. I mean, you mentioned Delisle. I mean, she has to be big, kind of like Alini Reyes was when UCF made their run to the Elite Eight in 2011. So I think those are a couple keys to watch as this match. Daria just got a touch here as UCF with possession here. So I think they got to withstand UCLA here early. And I think the longer this match goes close, I think it might favor UCF because all the pressure is on UCLA.
That honestly, I think that would, if that indeed stays close like that, it would sort of mirror the NC State's matchup. Are you just getting on the 16th minute, Eric, or am I ahead of you by a little bit? You're muted, Eric.
Well, I'm uploading the video, so I could tell you that I am right now in the 16:09 mark.
Okay, got it. We're on the same spot. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. Now, mine's might slow down because right now I got multiple things open and I'm trying to upload the basketball post game. So you might actually be ahead of me while I work on this video. As Diana Martin just had the ball taken away, UCLA with possession here. But this has been fun. It's been a fun ride. You watched the NC State match last week. You were out of town with family stuff, but you were able to catch a chunk of that match, especially the dramatics in the second half and into overtime in the PK. So, you could just sense the relief and the excitement when they got that win as Martin just got fouled, right? They called it. No, they didn't call it. They didn't call a foul on that. Wow. Martin just got tackled and no foul call, though. Okay, they kept playing. UCLA's trying to put some pressure here.
Oh, nice little redirection right there.
Yeah.
I'll say this, the back line has really showed up. Georgia Eaton Collins, I heard her name called out a good bunch in the first 8 minutes of the match.
Well, they got to be key. They have to be key factors. And that's been the difference in this team, Bryson. Wouldn't you agree from last year? Remember last year, you and I kept talking about how they gave up a lot of opportunities defensively. They really fixed that by getting Collins. She was a transfer from Florida. Barton was a transfer from Washington State. So they've got depth in that back line, from that standpoint. So both Sahedaks, Coach Tiff and Tim have said this is the deepest back line they've ever had there in a while. Looks a little chilly out there. Everybody's got their did I see some players there with some winter clothes there a little bit? I'm a little surprised. A little breezy maybe, I guess.
It's getting to be that time of year, Eric Lopez. Even here in Florida, it gets a little chilly once the sun goes down.
That's true. You've been dealing with the ramifications from that with a little under the weather, but
oh yes, that was what was going on when I was away. So I was kind of coming out of it when the NC State when the NC State game was on. It was not exactly very pleasant. I'm glad that at least when the sun's out in Florida, it's nice and it's a little warmer than it would be in other parts of the country. It was 54 up in Georgia where I was during the day. So to say that I missed the Florida temperatures was very much an understatement. By the way, for MNTW, where can I watch the game online? You can watch it on ESPN Plus if you have a subscription to that.
And by the way, feel free to throw comments throughout this watch-along stream. We'll answer your questions. We're going to touch on a lot of different sports when it's appropriate. Obviously, we don't want to miss a big moment in this match. Right now, they're kind of trading possessions. But Bryson, we got to talk about the men's basketball while we have a second. That was an incredible comeback by Johnny Dawkins' Knights team, down 17 to Oklahoma State. Looked bleak for most of it, but boy, they came out strong in the second half. Taylor Hendricks with a double-double. CJ Kelly had a great game off the bench. And UCF wins in overtime over Oklahoma State, 60-56. I think that's a big win for this group from a confidence standpoint in the short term for this year, as we have a turnover here. UCLA with the ball here. Cross is wide. Nobody there, thankfully, for UCF, and the ball will go out of bounds. See, this is going to be this kind of show. We could be talking about one subject, Bryson, and we can drastically change in a moment here as UCLA had a threat. But to win this game against Oklahoma State is huge, I think, short-term for this season and the confidence, and long-term with people wondering how this team's going to compete in the Big 12. This was a good statement for them, a good measuring stick against an Oklahoma State team that has maybe the best big man in the league in Cisse, who's the reigning Big 12 defensive player. Really great, gutty, grit win for this group.
Yes, I was watching the end of that game there, and I saw, nice block there by CJ Walker on Sis at the end there. That's a really good play. And I think this is a very good benchmark, Eric Lopez, for this team going forward. I think UNC Asheville, and that game, I think that that loss there, it was sort of I guess working out the kinks. It was this team's first matchup together, and it was against a team that had an NBA prospect level of a player in Drew Pember, and they still almost won that game. Ever since then, we saw them beat Florida State, and hopefully that's not that they're just maybe having a bad start to their season, and it seems
well, they beat Florida tonight, so so we could say we did something Florida didn't do, and that's beat Florida State. So I think FSU, once they get some bodies back, they'll be fine, but they're definitely banged up right now.
They got a dominant win over Western Illinois, which I think is another nice opponent that Johnny Dawkins scheduled to kind of help this team feel itself out. And then we have this Oklahoma State team. Oh, nice save there by Caroline Delisle.
Great save there. That's a great save. Again, she has to be great for them because UCLA is going to outchance UCF. They're very dynamic offensively, UCLA. Remember, a lot of these players were recruited and came there to play for Coach Cromwell, who has a very wide open style. Delisle has to be fantastic tonight, and that was a good start for her. But continue.
Yes, but anyway, as I was saying, that this game provides a very good benchmark for, I think, what this team is capable of at its best. Like, if you were to say what the game of the year is for UCF men's basketball, even though there's been 4 games to this point, this is it, this Oklahoma State game. And I think it's a good benchmark for the rest of the season and the measuring stick for what every other game is probably going to measure to at this point. I'll tell you what, Eric, I've been really impressed with Taylor Hendricks. I mean, I think if I remember right, when he was first recruited along with his brother, Taylor was the one of the two that a lot of people were expecting a lot from right out of the gate, but he's really been meeting expectations so far.
Big time. Not only, I mean, he's one of the top freshmen in the country. And he's been, as advertised, a double-double against a really good front court from Oklahoma State against a future pro in Cisse. Held his own. To me, he's not only right now the top freshman on the UCF campus, he might be the top male athlete, really. He's playing that high of a level. We'll see if he can continue this on a long run. But I love the combination of him and CJ Walker. You brought up the Walker block against Cisse. If you get a chance to watch that somewhere in the highlights, what a great block out of the weak side. It helped them save the game in overtime. And the thing I was taken away, and Coach Dawkins alluded to this in the postgame, and once the video's uploaded, I'll let everybody know so you can watch the postgame. This team has an identity defensively. This team is much better defensively, Bryson, than they've been the last few years. And I think it's because of the depth they have in the front court with the length. So I like this group a lot. I'm not going to put any numbers or expectations on them. That's not fair. And they're still without Darius Johnson, Bryson. That's the thing. I want to see this team with Darius gets back because I think that's a big missing piece that could take them to a different level if Darius can get back, hopefully before conference play. But they're a gritty bunch, and I think this team is going to have chances to win this games as long as the defense plays at the level that they've been playing since the Asheville game. After that,
speaking of winning games, if UCF manages to pull this off against UCLA, they're going to go. They would go up against Northwestern. They beat Vanderbilt earlier today 2-1. So as of right now, you
and it's important, by the way, that match would take place Sunday night in Los Angeles. So that'll be if UCF were to pull the upset, they'd be a neutral field. By the way, the men's basketball team will play also. They will play Sunday in the championship game against the winner of Santa Clara DePaul, which that's going on right now. Under 8 minutes to go, first half, tied at 24. The winner of that game will play UCF. I don't have the tip time for the championship game. I want to say it's a 7 o'clock, but it might be either 4:30 or 7, Bryce. So you have to double check on me. I got too many tablets going on right now as I'm trying to upload video and watch this soccer matches. We're about what? I'm at the approaching 25 minutes into the first half, Bryce, and 24:55. Kristen Scott with the ball right now. Passes the ball up. Knight's trying to create an opportunity here. Like to see their offense create some pressure here. Senho with the touch. Looks for Diana Martin. Martindale surrounded by a couple of Bruin defenders trying to get around her into the box and gets pushed. No whistle. Scott now with possession. Finds a Senho. Shot from afar is blocked. UCLA had a good job there defending in the box there.
Oh. I'll tell you what, UCLA is not going to let.
Yeah, that was a dangerous pass. So you're clearly a few seconds ahead of me, Bryce. That was a dangerous pass there to Delisle there. UCLA nearly got it. Boy, you got to be clean on your passes there. Got to be really solid there.
Indeed. Well, we talked a little earlier on Caroline Delisle and with the back line and stuff like that. I wanted to mention this earlier, but the back line being so improved from last season, one of the big reasons that I talked about that last season was because Caroline Delisle is only one woman. She can only do so much, even though I will probably stipulate that she is the greatest goalkeeper this program has had in some time. And she had 78 saves last season. 78. She was just assaulted on the goal a lot, and she can only do so much. This season, she's only had to save the ball 63 times coming into tonight, and this includes postseason play. I think that you just look at that and it shows how much of an improvement on the back line, how crucial that's been to this team's success. As Mia Senho, gets a shot, but UCLA blocks it.
Yeah, she had open grass too in that situation and tried to take a difficult shot, but the Bruins have done a nice job really cluttering the box. And this is going to be a key, Bryson. Somebody else other than Kristen Scott's going to step up, because you could tell early on the UCLA is going to make sure that Kristen Scott is marked, that they'll have a couple of defenders on her. So other players will have to create opportunities, I think, to free up Scott, in my opinion.
Well, perhaps it's going to be Dayana Martin, who had a pretty good breakout season this season, ended up being named to the All-AAC first team to score. Even though Kristen Scott's been dominant scoring this season, just like she was last season, Dayana Martin has gotten a few goals herself and has been making been a pretty great aspect of this offense when Kristen Scott was not playing.
You're right about that. Here is UCF starting. They got to get some possession time here to kind of help them out defensively. So at least they have some possession here as we're about the 28-minute mark. Again, this match is on ESPN Plus. You're welcome to join us and watch the match from that standpoint. And again, send in your comments there. We got some other comments here. Let's see. Yeah, Corey, I agree. Rebounding was worrisome for UCF early in that basketball game, but they figured out. Thank you, Jessica. 7 p.m. Jessica Sheldon telling us 7 p.m. for the championship game. Oh, boy. You know the irony of that is? Well, I believe if UCF wins tonight against UCLA, I believe that round of 16 match would be right around the same time, Bryson.
Oh, man.
But anyway, so 7 o'clock, but that's a long lies away there, to say the least. So thank you for that, 7 o'clock there. By the way, props to ESPN. This is the first year that ESPN has picked up the NCAA Tournament in women's soccer on their ESPN Plus. In the past, these matches would be on NCAA.com. It would be on school websites. So ESPN has kind of stepped in here, Bryson, in the postseason and carry. Now, again, all these broadcasts are done by the local school. So like this match is a UCLA broadcast. Deep ball for Scott. Oh, the goalkeeper for UCLA was out of the goal there, but Scott couldn't get possession there. And UCLA now maintains possession here as we approach the 30-minute mark here, the first half. Martin with the possession, trying to the box.
Didn't have the angle.
I'm telling you, they're letting him play early. They're letting him play. They're letting him be physical.
They really are. That's one thing that I've been really excited to see from the women's game, because a lot of the intensity I usually see on the men's side, but the women's side this season's really, really driven up the intensity this time around.
So UCF's going to get a corner here. They're going to say that ball was deflected off of Bruin. So the Knights are going to have a corner kick, an opportunity here at the 30-minute mark to do something with it. Martin inside the box. Let's see how the Knights handle this set piece. They go to Martin for a header. The ball goes wide. Knights with possession. Ball's knocked out by UCLA, goes out of bounds. This will be a throw-in for UCF. I believe that's Olivia Lewis with the ball. There.
That is yes.
Some substitutions for the Knights coming in here at the 30-minute mark. Sonia Holm coming in for the Knights. Now, the Bruins, they have a farther away camera shot, Bryson, than what I'm used to with UCF. We have a much closer shot at UCF home games. So a little harder to identify numbers, but you're young, so you'll help me. You're like a spotter.
Indeed. I'm loving that you're able to kind of put your broadcast to work. That's why I love the idea of doing watch-along streams like this, is you can kind of
we hope to do this from time to time, maybe for some of the UCF postseason games if we're not in person, as we'll talk about with volleyball later on. We could be doing some of this a little bit to help out some of the audience there. And also, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. We got a big football game in about 12 hours.
But let's say 12 and a half. It's 10:30 right now.
That's going to move up quickly on me. Delia with the ball here. UCF Navy, 11 a.m. Eastern. You're going to host night shift. I'm going to be at the game on Saturday. I mean, I'm going to have 3 press conferences in a matter of like 12 hours or 15 hours. Doing men's basketball. Hopefully we'll have a women's soccer post game at some point in this morning, and then a football presser there. How you feel about the Navy game tomorrow, Bryson? You were nervous about this. You've been telling me about you've been nervous about this.
I have said this so many times. I do not care what Navy's record is. I don't care if they have all the wins. I don't care if they have no wins. The way that this team is structured, they can just sneak up on you. And UCF was a victim of that last year. Now, granted, they were still reeling from injuries. It was Mikey Keene's first start. So I can understand that as far as last season. But remember, this is a Navy team that gave Notre Dame a run for their money. So I'm just going to be very cautiously optimistic on this. And actually, Eric, one thing that I am very intrigued to see remember, let me know if I'm wrong here, but Mikey Keene, I believe, still has another game left before He's got a couple.
He's got a couple games that he could play without losing the red shirt. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking he might come in tomorrow.
Well, I think that it would be really interesting if Mikey Keene I don't know if he would start the game, but I think getting a solid amount of playing time, because this would be a good opportunity for Mikey to get another shot at Navy, because this is the team that he played in his first start, and he ended up not really being able to pull it off in that one. But this one, it's on his home. It's in his home stadium. Might potentially be the last last matchup in the bounce house for Mikey as a UCF Knight if he ends up entering the transfer portal after this season, as there's been speculation on that he would do. So I would be intrigued to see if we could see if Mikey gets some time to kind of have a little bit of a redemption arc against Navy.
I think if they're behind, maybe. I'm not sure that. I think Mikey could become a factor in the conference championship game. I think that's where you want to make sure you have him available there. From that standpoint, I don't know. Even Gus alluded to it in the post game and during the media availability this week, which you could watch on Black Eagle Banneret, that Mikey, this is
Diana
Martin.
I think that's Diana. Yes,
Diana Martin with a goal, and the Knights have taken the lead 1-0 at the 34-minute mark. Diana Martin with the goal, and the Knights strike first and take the lead on national seeded UCLA here. Big goal for Diana Martin, the biggest of her career. The senior from Houston, Texas, with a nice curve there on the corner there, beats the UCLA goalkeeper, and the Knights lead 1-0.
You said it, Eric Lopez. Somebody other than Kristen Scott is going to need to step up to get the goal. I said it, that Diana was a good candidate to do that, and lo and behold, look what she went and did.
Well, that's huge too, because they've got the lead, and now all of a sudden the chess pieces are moved. Big goal for Martin, who's having the best year of her career, was an all-conference performer with the biggest goal of her life, giving the Knights a 1-0 lead at the 34-minute mark. And you got to believe the Knights now play with a lot of confidence. And we'll see how the Bruins respond here with about 10 minutes left here in the first half. Long ways to go, obviously. But boy, oh boy, big for UCF to take the lead early.
That's goal number 5 for Diana Martin on the season.
I'm glad you caught that. I'm still trying to upload videos. Obviously struggling with that.
I'll tell you what, when I saw, I think that was, I don't know if she was unassisted. I think that may have been Kristen Scott that sent the ball back her way. I'm double checking right now on the.
Yeah, go ahead and check that. But again, that's why she was getting a lot of attention. Martin got the opportunity. That was a beautiful shot too, with a nice curve. It was a nice bender, as they like to say. And the Knights take a 1-0 lead here over the Bruins. By the way, I don't know if you saw, Memphis earlier today knocked off Mississippi State 4-0. Memphis for the first time ever onto the round of 16. So, and what's fascinating is UCLA is the last hope for the Pac-12. They've had a tough tournament to this point. So we'll see if the Knights can join Memphis in the round of 16. A lot of soccer to go, though, between now and then. But buckle up, Bryson. Buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride here.
Hey, it was a wild ride last time too. Between NC State and UCF, between both teams, there were 42 shots in that game. 42, and with 16 of them going on goal. Even though there was only one penalty kick that got to the back of the net for each team in regulation, they were certainly trading spots. Oh, nice save there from Caroline Delisle. But last time, I mean, it wasn't for a lack of trying that there wasn't a lot of offense to be had, or at least a lot of converted goals in that last matchup. You're muted, Eric.
This is a very important 9-10 minutes here, because the Bruins are going to push here to try to find the equalizer before the half. So I think UCF's got to be careful here and got to be really strong here in the next 10 minutes. Try to, because UCLA is going to push here. And then this is what happens in soccer. Once that first goal happens, that opens up the match. So I think you're going to see a much more wide open match, because UCLA is going to be more aggressive trying to find an equalizer. UCF is going to have some opportunities to counter as the match goes. But here come the Bruins. They're pushing again. Ball was that deflected? If that's deflected, that'll be a corner. And it looks like it was deflected. So UCLA is going to have a corner kick as they'll have the replay here, Bryson.
I'm looking at the live stats right now on NCAA.com. They are listing Kristen Scott as getting the assist on that last goal by Diana Martin.
I'm not surprised by that. Again, she's going to create. Now, UCLA is going to have a corner kick here. Wearing gloves, by the way. What's the weather like? Is it that bad in LA? It's like, it can't be wearing gloves. All right, corner for the Bruins. And Delisle punches it out of the box. Knight's got to clear it, though. They don't. UCLA still with possession here with 8 to go in the first half.
I'm at 37-30, Eric. About there.
You're a few seconds, and that was deflected, I think, off the Knights. So another corner coming for the Bruins.
I'm currently looking on my Weather Channel app. It says that it is 56 degrees in Los Angeles, California right now.
Oh, okay. So it's like Orlando. Header and a goal on the header off the corner kick, and the Bruins have tied it up at 1 on a beautiful corner. Found the header, and they couldn't mark the player, and nothing. And nothing Delisle could do there, and they were even at 1. Beautiful header.
I'm trying to see.
27 with the goal for the Bruins.
I'm looking looking that up right now. Number 20,
Jackie Gilday, midfielder
from New Smyrna Beach, Florida girl, Creek High School. How ironic is that?
Well, but again, she's an Amanda Cromwell recruit. Amanda recruited a lot in Florida with her ties. So it's so bizarre. Can you imagine, Bryson, if the storyline would be if Cromwell still would be at UCLA?
Well,
I mean, it would be something. But even as it is, it's significant because a lot of these players are Cromwell players from this Bruin program. So we're 1-1 here at the 38th minute of the first half.
I'm looking at the UCLA roster right now. Out of all the girls, all the women on this roster, Gilday's the only Floridian on the entire team, and she's the one that ended up getting the goal here against UCF.
The irony of all ironies, right? Well, and I said it a few minutes ago. You knew UCLA was going to come out here, put the pressure here, and just thanks to Stings there to give up the equalizer there. But the Bruins executed very well in that corner, so give them credit. Give them a ton of credit for that.
Heading back, Delisle comes forward. Well, I mean, we'll
talk some of the other UCF sports here at halftime. This has been a fast-moving first half, by the way, very up-tempo.
They were much more successful on offense than UCF and NC State were last time. They needed penalty kicks in order to get any scoring there, but they didn't need that this time. We got Bridget Marin Valencia for UCLA going in there. Nope. And that's going to be out. Who's going to throw it in? It'll be UCLA throwing. Kind of hanging out there in that far right hand of the screen corner. What's your I want to ask Eric, what's your favorite part about broadcasting soccer? Because you broadcasted many a different sports in this calendar year of 2022. You've broadcasted softball, you broadcasted volleyball, you broadcasted soccer. So what's been your favorite part when you have broadcasted soccer this season?
Oh, that's a tough question. It's a good question. I didn't think of that. I think the beauty of soccer is just the flow of the game. It really depends. Like the SMU match I called was good. Ole Miss was up and down. I just like the flow of the game, the strategy, the tactical differences. Kristen Scott and her brilliance. It's always unique. It's a little different in volleyball. Volleyball is a little more up tempo, fast paced. You don't have as much time in between points as you do in soccer. To chat. Oh, opportunity
Tackle,
there.
not going to be a free kick. Are they going to give it to him?
Yeah.
Oh, the Gardner. Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, they showed her the official showed her the yellow card. That was
That's on Mark.
Man,
Well, officiating it's been on UCLA's favor here so far. I mean, they let them play a couple earlier, but now all of a sudden, let's see here. I mean, I don't know if that warranted a card. I don't have an issue with a foul call, but I think a card is a little bit much. I mean, I know what they're saying is they're trying to not have players tackle from behind and the ankle, because obviously that could be a risky injury. But anyway, UCLA has a free kick here at the 40-minute mark.
Another shot at it. Nope, not on target.
Yeah, but UCF's got to do a better job clearing the ball out there. I mean, UCLA got a shot wide there. They're just not clearing the ball as well as they need to, and they're going to have to do that better job in the second half. Because you don't want to give the Bruins extra opportunities. They're too talented, explosive from that standpoint. By the way, the Johnny Dawkins post game is up on Black and Gold Banneret YouTube channel right now as well. Finally. If the soccer match would let me get work.
Hey, it's a big matchup. I mean, and hey, UCLA is number 1 seed. Oh, UCLA is gonna have a shot. Nope. Oh, that went down. Are they gonna give it a foul in the box? Nope, they're gonna let him play.
I'm glad they let them play. That looked like a flop. I don't know if they'll show the replay or not, but that looked like a flop that she went down. I don't think there was a ton of contact here, because then that's the one thing I don't like about soccer. There's a lot of flopping going on. Let's see here. Yeah, she fell on her own. That's a good non-call. I'm glad the officials didn't fall for that bait. I just, that part I don't like. You meant that's drives me nuts. So let's see if UCF can get some possession time here. Try to at least get to the locker room 1-1 here, or maybe get a late one here to get the possession. Just reset. One thing I think is going to have to change in the second half here, Bryce. I think UCLA's kind of had the
just missed the goal.
Yeah, that was a tough angle, though. Very difficult angle. But it was a good Martin set that up with the steal, but tough angle to shoot there. They're going to have to do a better job getting time of possession. I feel like the Bruins have won the time of possession so far in this first half. I think for UCF to pull the upset, that's got to change in the second half. That was not a bad attempt, though. So we got about a couple of minutes left. Turnover, Knights with possession here.
I'll be very interested to see, because I know they're definitely going to be covering Kristen Scott, considering how notable she's been for this team's offense. But she's currently locked in a tie with Courtney Whitten at 6th place with 33 career goals. Wonder if she'll be able to break that and manage to take 6th place for herself.
Knights trying to get a opportunity here under 2 minutes before halftime. Ball goes out. They go UCLA. Will have the throw in deep in their own territory with a minute and a half to go here in the first half. 1-1 UCLA, UCF. Pretty entertaining first half.
Oh, yes, indeed. Deanna Martin getting one of the biggest goals of her life, I would say. And UCLA managed with the solid response with that header. I mean, sometimes corner kicks just kind of roll that way.
Yeah, no, that was well executed. So now UCF with possession. Well, I'm under a minute here in the first half.
Deanna Martin with it. Oh, no, she was surrounded all over the place there.
But you notice they had a couple of Bruins around her there. They've done a good job playing back. But UCF's maintaining possession here. Rajai with the ball. You see Scott playing from afar, trying to head the ball into the box, but UCLA knocks it down. UCLA trying to counter, but UCF gets possession here with about 40 seconds left. 40 seconds to go, first half, in a 1-1 game. Winner advancing to the round of 16. UCF has made it to the round of 16 in 2014 and in 2011 in recent years. That 14 team was Tiffany Roberts-Sahedak's second year as UCF head coach. They lost to the eventual national champions, Florida State, 1-0 in Tallahassee. As the ball goes into the goal, UCLA goalkeeper picks it up, and I think that's probably going to wrap it up here for the first half here, Bryson. 10 seconds to go. Probably a deep kick here. Try to see if something happens at the last minute. 5 seconds.
And that's 45 minutes. That's
there you go.
Well, that 2014 team, Eric Lopez, that was the last time that UCF has even made it to this point in the second round. That was it's the last time they've made it here. I mean, I'll admit, like this, I think Tiffany Roberts-Sahadak has done a good job getting this team back to this point. I mean, after that 2017 team, you kind of had those intervening years where you just wasn't quite able to do it. I mean, and to see these seniors in that position, I mean, Daria Rajai, Kristen Scott, Caroline Delisle, like these players have been with this team since that 2018 team, and this is the first time they've sniffed the NCAA tournament, which is kind of mind-boggling to me considering how historically good these players are as far as their career numbers.
But it shows you it's not easy to make the tournament. It's a much more competitive sport now. But this has been huge for Coach Sahadak to win the regular season title, to get into the NCAA, win a round. We'll see what happens here in the next 45, perhaps more minutes here. But this has been a fun team to watch, and a team that's been together, and a group that I think is playing for they know the opportunity they have in here, and they're representing very well. And I think it's a successful season regardless of what happens here tonight. But certainly if they were to pull this upset, man, to get to a Sweet 16, anything's possible at that point. And that would be a huge benchmark for them. But this senior group deserved to play in this stage, and I'm happy for them, especially Daria. That's a signature match she had last week with the penalty kick in regulation to tie it up, and then the penalty kick to win it in penalty kicks. She's going to go down as one of the great midfielders, and that'll be the moment everybody will remember.
Oh, yes. Two of the biggest goals of Daria Rajai's life, I would say, with those two penalty kicks. I mean, she was the only one that got the ball to the back of the net multiple times. And she hadn't scored a goal all season up until that point. So I was proud of her to get that she actually got that moment there.
Yeah, she's been a fun player to watch, a midfielder player of the year. So she's been so fun. So we're 1-1 here at halftime. I know some of the people not happy with the officiating. I understand. Bryson, let's kind of recap the day. This has been a busy day of UCF athletics. Why don't you give us a little bit of a recap today while we now have halftime? And I finish up. I'm actually uploading the Taylor Hendricks post game right now as we speak. So why don't you go ahead and give us thoughts, because this is not the only UCF. We're on going on 5 hours of nonstop UCF athletic sports going on tonight.
There was a little bit of an intervening period between the end of the men's basketball game and this one, though it wasn't a very long one. But the day started out with UCF volleyball getting started on their action this week as they went and swept ECU 3-0 out in Greenville. Only really in the second set did they let them get within 5 points there at the end. McKenna Melville, 22 kills to lead the team. Nothing that new there, but I went ahead and added, because we have Mac Watch going all season, and so we added to their numbers, and currently McKenna Melville sits at 2,459 kills at the moment. So she is 41 kills off from 2,500, Eric Lopez. So if she puts on a couple of matches like she did today against ECU, then I think we could see her get 2,500 on Black Friday in that season finale matchup against Houston. She's currently at 1,587 digs. She got 2 block solos on the match, which means that she is now 1 back of Kia Bright for seventh place on that all-time list of block solos. I'm telling you, people talk about McKenna Melville's kills, and of course she's the all-time leader in that now, but she's also in the top 10 all-time. She's ranked 9th in service aces, of which she also got 2 today against ECU, if I remember right. She did. Yes, she did. But she's also I would say one of the better blockers that this program has seen. Now, obviously, there's better dedicated blockers out there like Anne-Marie Watson, Narissa Moravec, etc. But McKenna Melville is just kind of like to borrow a baseball term, a 5-tool player.
Yeah, I think Todd Dagenet would tell you that. 6, I think they call it 6 in volleyball. Yeah, look, she's building the resume to be the greatest player of all time in volleyball. We'll have that conversation once it's done. But she had 22 kills, 14 digs. You mentioned the career kills. She's 12th all time now in the history of Division I volleyball in kills. Think about that, 12th. And they did what they had to do and sweep East Carolina because Houston is on fire. They won tonight against Memphis. They're 18th in a row. That's a program record in Houston. They straight set at Memphis. You realize Houston's won 28 straight sets. All right. So you have that. Houston's won 18 in a row. UCF's now won 12 in a row. And we're just a week away, Bryson, from a collision in what could be, if both teams take care of business in their next 2 matches before Black Friday, will be the biggest match in the history of the American Athletic Conference in volleyball, maybe one of the biggest matches in the history of the regular season in the venue, with a top 25 showdown, with a conference championship, and perhaps a hosting top 16 national seed at stake with Houston and UCF, Bryson. It just keeps building by the minute. For each set each team wins, it just keeps getting bigger.
Volleyball Mag posted on their Twitter account earlier today, and I'm trying to look for it right now, because I think they were really hyping up this UCF team. Let me see if they've been tweeting out a lot. Here it is. Don't let the AVCA ranking fool you. Knights are very much in the mix for hosting rights, volleyballmag.com said over Twitter.
Yeah, no, that's accurate. I mean, I think if whoever wins out between UCF and Houston, whoever wins that match next Friday, I think probably gets to host. And think about this for Bryson, this possibility for UCF. If UCF wins the conference championship game, I think they could be the 16th seed, probably paired up with the number 1 overall seed, the favorites for the national championship in Texas, a Big 12 school, where we've heard that before, a Big 12 favorite for the national title, 1 versus 16. And then UCF would host, and they wouldn't have to deal with Florida because of the new format where just the 32 teams are seeded in the tournament. So UCF might be playing against a Penn State or a USC or a Georgia Tech, something like that, but they got to win out. I think if they lose, I don't think they can host. They might be going somewhere like Baylor or Penn State in that scenario if they lose. But they got to win out, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to grab the updated RPI in a moment here. I'm finishing up the Taylor Hendricks video. But UCF Houston, Bryson, it's big. I'm scheduled to call that match with Eche Tanner Goker. And it's ironic, Bryson. You'll love this little irony. 14 years ago, Bryson, I was in Houston, Texas, calling UCF softball against Houston for the Conference USA Championship game. UCF was won it 4-2. Houston was a top 10 team in the country. Angel Shamblin was an All-American 2-way player for Houston. UCF won this USA Championship. It was my first road trip with UCF, my first championship game I've called for UCF. 14 years later, I could be calling a volleyball championship match, UCF versus Houston. Angel Shamblin, you know what she's doing now, Bryson?
I imagine I'm going to be wowed by the response.
She works in Houston. She's one of the academic advisors for the volleyball program.
Dang.
Huh?
That's
There you go. It's just a little tease of what I'm going to give you on the broadcast there next Friday on ESPN Plus.
Oh yeah, the storylines of this UCF Houston. I mean, not only are they conference rivals, the rivals in the American, going at it one last time in the American before they both head off to the Big 12 together. But not to mention Eric Lopez, there's the connection that their head coach David Rare has with Terry Mohajir.
Yeah, you dug up this, right? He was hired by. They worked together at Arkansas State. That's where Rare coached before going to Houston. Did Terry hire him, or he just inherited Rare? They came around the same time. I know that.
If I remember right, David Rare was hired a few months before.
That's right.
Mohajir became the athletic director. But I mean, even though Terry didn't hire him, he was basically there the entire time. So these two gentlemen,
they know each other, right? They know each other very well. So I think that's a fascinating plot line to be added with that. But now UCF will play at Temple on Sunday. Houston will host SMU. SMU is actually pretty good. That is a big match from that standpoint. Right now, I'm looking at the RPI unofficially. Houston is 17, UCF's 18 in the unofficial RPI. Now, Penn State was playing Minnesota tonight. That's a big match. If you're a UCF or a Houston fan, you're anti-Penn State. You want Penn State to lose some matches here because Penn State's one of the teams you're competing with as far as a hosting site is concerned. See if you could find the final. I think it just ended, Penn State, Minnesota. I don't know who won that. So see if you could find that score, Bryce. That's a big match. Penn State and Minnesota tonight. They were playing in Penn State, and that's a big ramification match. But either way, you got to worry about what you can do. UCF will host Tulane on Friday at 5 o'clock. That'll be right before the men's basketball game against Evansville at 7. Houston will be in Tampa against South Florida on Wednesday. So big stretch here for volleyball here, Bryson. And let's be honest, Bryson, a lot of pressure on volleyball. I expect with McKenna Melville and Amber Olsen and a ton of these seniors, last hurrah, trying to get really over the hump, and get to that elusive round of 16. They have fallen short. They've been to a couple of round of 32s. They were very close last year, a set away from the Sweet 16. And that's, what a way that would be to close it out for McKenna and Amber if they could close out hosting a regional like they did in their freshman year.
I just got the results for Penn State there for you. They beat Minnesota 3-1. Minnesota, by the way, in the final season under their storied head coach, Mr. McCutcheon.
That's true.
But also one other volleyball story to follow. I know we've been talking about McKenna Melville this entire season with good reason, but Abby Hansen has the potential to add her name to the UCF record book. She is currently doing quite well in the single season blocking categories. She's 13 blocks off of the top 10 all time in block assists, and she is 26 blocks off from the single season top 10 in total blocks. So Abby Hansen bubbling right under the top 10 single season standings in blocking at the moment.
Well, Bryson, she's going to be a key for them if they want to make it around the 16, because I think Hansen and Dillon, what's going to be for them to get to the round of 16, they got to get other scoring other than McKenna, because teams are going to focus on McKenna. And that's the key. This team has more variety to score offensively than really any other team has prior. So to me, they need to take advantage at the middle there and be consistent from that standpoint. Oh, no, by the way, Florida State men's hoops lost in Florida. Wow. So Florida came back. Wow. Wow. That's a big comeback for Florida. They were down big in that match. 76-67. Tough. Darren Green can't get a win, Bryson. Can't get a win. Where'd you go, Bryson? Oh, he stepped out. All right. Thank you, Jessica. So Penn State won. here in the second half. We're getting set for the second half, and we'll see how that goes. But what a win. What a win for the Florida Gators. Wow, UFSC was leading the whole way. That's a tough win there. But anyway, so volleyball, but like I said, back to volleyball. They got to certainly just take care of business. I think they're going to beat Temple. I think they're going to beat Tulane. I think the question, Bryson, is does Houston lose to SMU? SMU is pretty good. You and I watched SMU. They could push them a little bit. Otherwise, I think Houston's going to at least win a share. And I don't even want to get into the tie-breaking scenario about Houston and UC because that will get crazy. Because it really is. Because if UCF and Houston win out, UCF would have to win in 3 sets to win the tiebreaker, or win in 4 sets and win by more than 4 points combined in the to win the tiebreaker. Otherwise, Houston wins the tiebreaker. But I'm telling you this, there's going to be a lot of talk about that, Bryson. But winning that match is still important, regardless of the tiebreaker, because I do believe the winner of that match, if they win out, will probably sneak in as a host. So a lot at stake. Hopefully you're healthy enough to join us next Friday.
Yes, I was. I left for a second to go refill my water. If there's any lesson that you guys take from this live stream, it's to stay hydrated, everybody. Especially if you're going to be going to the Navy football game, which now is 24 hours away.
Oh, remind me. Yeah, 12 hours away, actually. It's 12
24. Yeah, 12.
Trust me, it's nap time for me after this. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Men's basketball with the big win, 60-56 in overtime over Oklahoma State. If you go to our YouTube channel, you can watch Johnny Dawkins' post-game press conference, as well as Taylor Hendricks, who is a great personality. And big win for the Knights in overtime. They will play the winner of Santa Clara and DePaul. They just underway in the second half. Santa Clara with a 45-28 lead over DePaul in the second half. So if that holds true, UCF will play Santa Clara in the Bahamas for the championship on Sunday night. Lonely Bumblebee with the correct term. Tailgate only 8 hours away. Why did I agree to do this again, Bryson? Do this watch-along? I'm going to the football game. With Kyle's picking me up at about 8 hours, actually. 8.5 hours.
Well, you'll be able to go to the game, Eric. I mean, I'll tell you, I was really excited to get the opportunity to go for South Carolina State, and then again for SMU. So I'm glad you'll be able to go to when's the last time you've physically been to the Bounce House?
2019, when they beat South Florida Black Friday. Me and Brian Murphy covered that game. So yeah, this will be the first time for me in 3 years. Hopefully, I've set the over/under as a 1:45 Eastern finish for the game.
We're back underway, by the way, in Los Angeles.
Of course,
UCLA had a corner kick earlier that did not make the mark. We're at about 40, a bit under 47 minutes. Oh wow, I don't know why Caroline went for that. I think that's going to be a corner now, but because the ball looked like it was going out of bounds, Eric, but it deflected. That's why it was deflected.
That's why it deflected. Yeah, she saw that. So cool. But here we go. Threat early for UCLA with a corner.
Another 40. Corner.
Yeah, 47-minute mark.
All right, it's off.
And the piece is deflected. UCF with possession.
Caroline kept it off.
All right, I'm at 47-33. Where are you at?
Same.
All right. I've closed all my tablets now that I've gotten the post-game videos uploaded. And they look at that looked like it was off a UCF player. Wow, that would have been unfortunate if that. Thankfully, Delisle got to that, but it looked like it was off a UCF player.
You call them tablets? You call tabs tablets?
I've got a lot of things open on the computer right now, and I have multiple computers. Knights with possession here at the 48-minute mark. Something to keep in mind, unlike regulation, they would play over, as we found out last week, they'll play 2 overtimes if they can't settle it in regulation. And if they can't settle it after 2 overtimes, they'll go to PKs. Barton with the touch there, finding Martin. Martin got a couple of Bruins he's trying to go through, gets bumped, no call. Has UCF gotten a call at all in this match?
Not that I remember.
I don't remember a whistle at all. Yeah.
There's by the way, Martin's 5th goal puts her in a tie for 2nd place on the team with Mallory Olson for the most goals scored this season. Nope.
Ball wide there.
Didn't have the right angle on that shot, unfortunately. Mike Doty. Yeah, Mike Doty has the right idea. That was my reaction. Elo calling tabs tablets is something.
It's a long day, long night. You know, this is what happens when you do watch-alongs at 11 o'clock at night. Let's just hope we don't have more West Coast games in future UCF postseason, all right? Oh, my goodness. Volleyball last year was in Los Angeles, soccer in Los Angeles. Although it's been ironic for Coach Sahadak because, and I talked to her in the media availability on Thursday. They played the opening round in North Carolina where she played, obviously at North Carolina. Raleigh was where she played professionally. And now she's here in Los Angeles, the city that hosted the 99 World Cup, as the Bruins get a ball into the box. Knights trying to clear here. Dangerous situation. Now they do clear it, sort of. Now they did, but the Bruins are doing a nice job knocking the ball down, so they get possession back. And Delisle beats the Bruin there. I thought that was offsides, but you don't know that if you're Delisle, so you have to be aggressive there, and she did. She get the ball there. But as I was saying, to me, Los Angeles was the site of the 99 Women's World Cup, the famous U.S. Women's World Cup win over China, which Coach Sahadak was a part of. So it's kind of full circle for Coach Sahadak here in this unique 2022 year for her, where she's been part of the U.S. national team assistant coach, helped them qualify for the World Cup next year and the Olympics in 2 years. She'll be part of the U.S. coaching staff through the World Cup next year. So kind of this is your life, Tiffany Roberts Sahadak postseason here.
Speaking of UCF and World Cups, how about Sean Johnson getting selected for the U.S. men's national team for the Qatar FIFA World Cup?
The U.S. men's team will start Monday against Wales. From what I read, I think Sean's going to be probably the 3rd string goalkeeper, but who cares? You're on the roster. You're on the World Cup. His shot here for UCLA, there's Delisle with an easy save in the 51st minute. But yeah, great. First UCF, first men's soccer player for UCF to play for the U.S. national team in the World Cup.
Hey, Sean's paid his due. He's been in the MLS for over a decade, and only recently he's really kind of, I think, played his best goalkeeper. He was an MLS All-Star this year, if I remember right. All right, UCF.
Bumblebee's Ace just should be a quick game too. I'm hoping Gus also keeps it on the ground and has a few of those 7-minute drives. I agree. Look, the football game, you're going to have to be efficient. You're going to have to be efficient because you're not going to have a lot of possessions in that football game. I expect UCF. I expect a lot of running from both teams here. This could be one of the faster games ever. Might have time for lunch afterwards, but we'll see.
It helps that it starts at 11 a.m.
I'm curious what the media spread will be like for that. I mean, that'll be interesting. Like, do they serve breakfast? Do they serve lunch? Maybe a little bit of both, a little brunch. I don't know. Looking forward to finding that out when I get there.
Don't let who hear you to keep talking about the media spread.
He's asleep. He's got to get ready for his PA senior day. That's a big deal for PA guys. Kristen Scott with a header there. The ball goes out. They might have called offsides there. I don't know. I don't have the volume up. But UCLA nonetheless will have a goal kick. So it looks like to me, based on that tells me that they called offsides. Feel free to call one on UCLA. On UCLA.
Just about UCLA.
Yeah, that helps. Let's see if UCF now with a header throw in. No, wait, what?
They're switching. They're just having a player do it.
All right, right now I'm a little pessimistic about officiating. I don't know. Mia Sejo with the ball. Speaking of which, the World Cup starts, I believe, Sunday with Qatar, the host team, playing Ecuador, maybe, or England. I don't remember. No, they're playing England. They're playing Ecuador. Anyway, that's been off to a wacky start over there.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Budweiser, I imagine, is kind of going
Not
through.
happy. Yeah, they're not selling alcohol. They're just, well, it's weird to have the World Cup in November. And that's, Black Friday, U.S. and England is going to be at 1:00, Bryson. We're going to have U.S. and England soccer and then UCF Houston volleyball. So, as somebody pointed out, it's a good thing that football is not on Black Friday this year after all.
Well, I'll say this: one of the things I did while in Georgia, because I was under the weather. Not only was I watching UCF and NC State,
Oh, nice touch here, UCLA trying to threaten.
but I also watched the FIFA Uncovered docu-series on Netflix about Sepp Blatter and that whole situation with FIFA. I'll say it was a good watch if you have some time. It's a good watch.
I did hear that, Mike, about there's a lot of speculation of trying to throw the match. Yeah, this is going to be a very scandalous World Cup. I don't, this is not a pretty sight. As a guy who loves the World Cup, but watched every World Cup since 1990, I'm kind of I've been disappointed that this is the location they picked for it. But the good news is, in 4 years, it'll be U.S. will be co-host of the World Cup in 26. Kelly's Barton to here throw in for the Knights at the 54-minute mark. 1-1 still here in the second half. Diana Martin with a goal in the first half gave the Knights a 1-0 lead. UCLA tied it up on a header on a corner late in the first half. And here we are, 1-1. Winner to go to the Sweet 16 on Sunday to take on Northwestern, who's a national seed. Bruins trying to get something going here. Top four, one of the top seeds, really one of the 3-4 favorites. Them, Florida State, among the favorites for the College Cup. Ball into the box right to Delisle.
We just got the box. I just got the box score. They finally got that thing posted from the UCF Oklahoma State basketball game. Look, I'm looking.
They're in the Bahamas. They're in the Bahamas. What are you going to do?
How about CJ Kelly? I know we've been talking about Taylor Hendricks a lot from this team, but like CJ Kelly has kind of quietly, been doing a pretty solid job. It's so hilarious to me that we had we've had two Dariuses on the team last time with Darius Perry and Darius Johnson, and now we have two CJs on the team in CJ Walker and CJ Kelly.
By the way, you're not going to believe this. Just happened. Jada Cody with two RBI triple has given Team USA a 2-0 lead over Cuba in the Pan American Championships in Guatemala. She has been on terror. It just happened right now.
It still boggles my mind, Eric, that you have called games for Jada Cody, Kristen Scott, and McKenna Melville, three of arguably the greatest female athletes to ever be on the UCF campus for different sports at the exact same time.
I'm very fortunate. It's a very good, been a good time. Great time to be a Knight, especially in this women's sports. And McKenna Melville was pretty outspoken, Bryson. You weren't there. The one time you weren't there, McKenna went off. Talking about the female athletes and how they've carried the weight. And, some people don't pay attention because they're not, quote unquote, the glamorous sports, but they kind of feed off each other. So you're right. It's been very fortunate to call some great players. Jada's doing a great job there. There's U.S. trying to win the gold there this weekend in Guatemala. She's had a great tournament there for softball. UCLA with a corner kick here in the 56th minute. Header. Ooh, that ball went wide.
By the way, Jada Cody isn't the only Knight there in Guatemala. Gianna Mancha is pitching for the Puerto Rican team. How well is she doing? Because so far I've seen her.
Cody greeted her. Jada did not greet her very well. Jada took her deep when they played for a 3-run homer.
I mean, she knows her. She knows her.
Another corner for the Bruins here. Can the Knights clear? Yeah, it goes out of bounds. Who's it off? Is it going to be another corner? Wow, we're going to have a third corner here for the Bruins? Yep. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are. Oh, man.
Bruins putting pressure on here. We gotta stay with this. We'll get back to the softball there. And that one goes out finally. So I think UCF will get a goal kick here. There's the latest goal kick. There is a header. UCF did a good job defending, and the ball went out. So Knights, will goal kick here at the 58-minute mark. But yeah, Cody took Mancha deep there. Mancha, as you mentioned, with the Puerto Rican national team. So good representations. UCF players being involved internationally. What a time. Sean Johnson at the World Cup. Cody playing in softball with the U.S. national team. Mancha with the Puerto Rican national team. So you got Tiffany. And then, think about next year with the Women's World Cup. We'll see Coach Sahidek on the bench as the assistant for the U.S. as they try to win another World Cup in the women's side. So Knights going deep ball for Martin, but the Bruin defender, number 19, was there. She'll clear the ball out as we get to the 59-minute.
I am currently at 58-50. Are you?
No, you're ahead of me by like 5 seconds.
If you're on ESPN Plus, Eric, one thing that I would do is I would just kind of click out and then click back in. That usually brings you up to speed with it, if that's something you want to try.
Yeah, I just caught up. Yeah, a few seconds here. Let's see. Is UCF going to have a throw in here at the 59-minute? 59-15, 59-16.
Jessica Sheldon asks, so is UCLA the number one team in the country in soccer? They're a number one seed, Jessica.
They're one of the 4 best. Florida, oh boy, that's a good question. Who is the favorite? They're one of the 4 top seeds. This year, soccer and volleyball are seeding 32 teams, and the way they're doing it, they're seeding them 1 through 8 in 4 regionals. UCLA is the 1 seed in this particular regional, but they're one of the favorites. They're a popular pick to win the College Cup. So I think it's them, Florida State, Alabama. I'm trying to remember who's the 4th 1 seed right now, but those are probably your 3 favorites. In fact, I could argue UCLA, FSU, North Carolina is always a threat. Those are probably your favorites for the national title.
No, UCLA is going to clear that. Mike Doty, I mentioned CJ Kelly earlier. Mike Doty said CJ Kelly might be the most underrated player for the last transfer cycle in men's basketball. What do you think about that, Eric? What do you think about that?
Say that again?
Mike Doty says CJ Kelly might be the most underrated player from the last transfer cycle in men's basketball.
Yeah, I mean, there weren't a lot of talk about it, but you're right. He's an important weapon. He can shoot the ball from the perimeter. I really sparked that comeback in the second half, hit 4 threes.
Oh, Olivia Lewis got one on goal right there.
60-minute mark. Yeah, I mean, he's big. I mean, he's their best 3-point shooter from what we've seen so far, and he's a weapon off the bench, so I don't disagree with that. And because of the Darius Johnson injury, Kelly's had to play some backup point guard minutes, which is not his natural position. So I actually agree. That's fair. I agree with that.
Olivia Lewis almost had another floater there. UCLA goalkeeper managed to come up with it there. Mike Doty says, what a shot. You are correct, good sir.
By the way, I've been impressed with the UCLA production on this. Way better than last year with volleyball. Remember that one, Bryson? That was a tough one to follow last year. This one's been much better quality, so props to them.
Well, to be fair, soccer has more of the popularity, though I will say volleyball, ESPN's been doing a pretty good job at trying to promote the volleyball game. I think if I remember right, there was a recent announcement of a pro volleyball league that they're trying to get started.
Look out!
He's looking at
got it clear. Knights clear.
There, and UCLA is coming back with it.
Yeah, they got possession right now. 62-minute mark, so we got 28 to go here in regulation.
And it's still all knotted up.
Trying to go into the box. Couple of Knight defenders pass the ball back the middle. Knights trying to take it away. Unsuccessful shot blocked. Knights clear and get possession momentarily, but the Bruins again gain possession. But they're midfield now, so at least they're in midfield. Yeah, there's pro volleyball league starting. I don't think McKenna's going to play pro, by the way.
Oh no, I think she's made her intentions clear. She wants
deep ball to Scott. Scott being guard. Oh, what a nice defensive play by the Bruins.
No, number 19 for UCLA. That's Quincy McMahon having it, sophomore out of Carmel, Indiana.
She had a nice job on a 1v1 defender there. Now the Bruins with trying to counter. Knight's got to be ready, and they do deflect the ball. It'll go out. It'll be a throw-in for UCLA. I think McKenna's going to go right into teaching and being a coach. I think, again, now she could change her mind, but the sense I get from her is I think she feels she's really passionate. And you know this, you've talked to her. She's really passionate about the teaching and high school coaching. She's really passionate about that.
Well, that's what her mother did, and she had made a really big name for herself up in Minnesota, and so now McKenna is able to kind of, kind of follow in her mother's footsteps, and she was raised in the gym, and I think she really feels comfortable there in the gym, and now she'll be able to kind of coach some players, from the sideline. I think she's very eager to do that. That Pro Volleyball League, by the way, that we mentioned earlier, that's Pro Volleyball Federation, and they wouldn't be taking the court until 2024, according to this article that I saw. So even if McKenna were to play pro, at least in that particular league, she'd have to wait a while. But ESPN, I think, is broadcasting Athletes United.
Unlimited.
I mean, they've been doing. I think ESPN's been doing a pretty good job, trying to cover the game. Scott lost.
I think ESPN's very committed to women's sports. I think you're going to see more women's sports televised, and the NCAA championships are coming up here in the next couple of years for renegotiations. So I think ESPN's going to try to get those, and I think you're going to see more women's sports. We've seen more volleyball this year on linear television. We've seen look for a lot of softball on linear television come springtime, because that thing is explosive from a TV number standpoint. UCF's going to benefit from that, as you saw with the announcement of the Clearwater tournament schedule on Thursday. UCF got some primetime games there that's probably going to get good TV slots. UCF with a chance here.
Is that Diana? I think that's Diana. Oh, she's going. Oh, UCLA's goalkeeper managed to come up with that.
Yeah.
Nice shot. That was a good opportunity right there.
Best opportunity UCF's had in the second half, and that was off a turnover. Henderson, it looked like, got the ball there, and that was a Senho, actually. It was Mia Senho with the shot.
That was Senho. How about Mia Senho, by the way? We haven't really gotten a chance to talk about her all night, but she was unanimously selected to the AAC All-Rookie team this season. She wasn't really making an impact on offense like I thought she was going to, but she made a little bit of noise earlier in the match, and now here she is making some noise again.
You're right. She's had a pretty good match so far. UCLA going to the bench here in the 65th minute, 1-1. Yeah, that was Anna Henderson that had the pass to Senho there, and it didn't work out there. But what are you gonna do? By the way, that Penn State match, Penn State won in 4 sets over Minnesota. That's a big win for Penn State. That's not good news if you're UCF or Houston potentially, because that's one of the teams that UCF and Houston is competing against to host. And that's a big top 25 win for Penn State. If Penn State finishes strong here, they're probably going to host. I broke this down on the podcast, and I'm going to write about volleyball's chances later this weekend after I take a nap at some point. Probably Sunday.
Mike Doty asked, is McKenna going to do the CFB style player to coach route, or would she do more of the high school
No,
level?
She's high school. Loves the high school game. Just Bryson, like her mom. I have not gotten the sense from her that she wants to do college coaching. I think her heart is in the high school game. She wants to be a teacher. That's what she's majoring in. Like her mom, I think she will. The question will be, is she a coach and a teacher in Florida or in Minnesota? I think it's going to be one of those two. Would not surprise me if she went back to Minnesota. But no, I think the high school game is where she wants to stay.
I mean, Florida has a pretty good volleyball team. My alum of Haggerty High School, their girls volleyball team, head coached by Juanita Hitt, who used to be an assistant assistant there at UCF. They went to the FHSAA title game recently.
Matilda Cack with the throw in here as she checks in at the 67 mark. This is going to come down to what she feels about the teaching system. And, I don't want to get into it, but Florida certainly has some, they're teaching high schools are a little different than Minnesota. Here's a shot wide by the Knights from about 20, 25 yards out. again, with the far camera, I can't tell what that was. That Henderson or Senho that took that shot? I couldn't tell who shot that, but nonetheless, it might have been Holman, actually. They're showing Holman there. Let's see. We're going to get a good replay here. That was a Senho. It's a Senho with the shot. So Mia and Senho has been aggressive here in this match for the Knights. That was a shot wide there as we go to the 68-minute.
You are right, Doty. These shots have been close these past few minutes.
No, it's been good to see. It's been good to see. Just got to see if they could finish. Senho with possession here in the 68-minute, going deep in the box for Scott. You notice how the Bruin defenders don't leave Kristen Scott at all, Bryson? They have, every time you've seen Scott with the ball, there's a blue jersey right next to her.
Some good, hey, you know, that's some good scouting there by UCLA. I mean, Kristen, you know, the team's offense, a lot of the team's offense this season has gone through Kristen. I mean, there's a reason that she was Offensive Player of the Year, even though she missed 4 matches. It still amazes me how dominant she is, a part of the offense she is, and she still missed 4 matches.
Free kick here for the Knights. Daria Raji with a free kick here. You're at the 69th minute. We approach.
It'll be a good opportunity for a set piece here by the Knights as we approach the 69th minute. Nice.
Refs trying to make sure they're all in the same, you know, and lined up correctly. So a little bit of a delay here.
Honestly, one thing that's I think
Raji ball in the box, way too high, nobody there. So goal kick for the Bruins. Go ahead. You were saying?
One thing that I don't know if it bugs me or if I like it, but but whenever these like kind of stoppages in play where they have to kind of set up these free kick scenarios, then the clock's still going, and I'm thinking to myself like, why do you not stop the clock doing that? Because that's could be time that, you know, UCF could use to, you know, get a goal, and I don't know. It's something that's
part of soccer. I mean, the international is way wackier because they don't stop the clock. They make it up on the back end, and you have no like extra time. It's really wild. So we're in the 70th minute mark. 70-minute foul here against UCLA. So we're finally getting some whistles against the Bruins here.
You have about 20 minutes left in regulation.
Yeah, they fouled us at home. That's a good call in the foul. So that's what the whistle was about. So the Knights with possession here in the 70th minute. See if they can come up with some, although they turn it over here. UCLA is really good. I mean, that's a good ball defended there. Been a good match. 1-1, 70-minute. What do you think? Do you think Amanda Cromwell's in attendance?
I would not be shocked if she was. I mean, I imagine she wouldn't be publicizing that she's there, considering the recent.
Right. I agree.
Right now. I would say this has been a very good game. What do you think? You think which matchup you think you would put as game of the year as of right now? The NC State match, or just say UCF finds a way to win this.
Let's see how this finishes. Let's not get ahead. Well, I'll be
glad.
What
about the quality of play?
This match has definitely been better quality of play. Olivia Lewis throwing in than the NC State match. A little bit better. But both have been good. Bruins with possession here. 71-minute. All 1-1. Bruins here. Of course, the UCLA, it's a big weekend for them. Their football team is at USC and at the Coliseum. Shot. Delisle's there.
I think you're ahead of me now.
Good. That's good. Why? Yeah. That was 24 with the shot outside the box there, and Delisle comfortably with the save. I just wonder what's going through Amanda's mind, because she's watching this match, whether she's in person or whether she's watching at home. I just wonder, because she coached both schools. She's friends with Sahadak. She played with Sahadak. She was at Tiffany Roberts Sahadak's press conference when Sahadak was introduced, and I just wonder what's going through her mind with this. Kind of conflicted, but then again, she knows a lot of the UCLA players she recruited, so it's fascinating.
Of course, the Bruin that scored that one goal was the only one on the team from Florida.
I agree with you. I think she's there somewhere. If I had to bet, I think she's there. But you're right. She's kind of like incognito, like very low key.
Being the UCLA, didn't they have that UC Board of Regents meeting about the UCLA's meeting going?
Yeah, we'll see what happens with all that. I haven't really paid attention to that too much. A lot of politicians at work over there in Los Angeles. Oh, Knights with the ball here, trying to get possession. Shot way high there.
Still, nice possession going forward, way too high, and I think it was off too.
That's okay. Being aggressive is a good thing, because we're in the 73rd minute. Sophia Cook checks in for the Bruins, the midfielder. She's a good one. I mean, they're talented. A Bruin team that was upset in the first round last year. Trying to remember, I saw them play with Coach Cromwell in the 2017 College Cup that was held here in Orlando. UCLA lost to Stanford in the championship match.
Caroline Delisle, by the way, according to the live stat tracker that on NCAA.com, she currently has 5 saves at the moment in this match. That puts her at 229 all time for her career, which would put her she's currently 2 saves back of Vera Veras on the all-time saves list at the
Where is that? But Veras is not the all-time leader, though. I think like Alyssa O'Brien.
No, that would be for 4th.
Okay. Bruins with an opportunity here. Ball deflected. And the Knights get possession here as we're at the 74th minute.
For perspective, the all-time leader in saves is Alyssa O'Brien from back in 1995 to 1998 with 424. Even third place who's Heather Brand, who played in the early 90s for UCF Women's Soccer at 338. Even if Caroline Delisle comes back next year for this Knights team, I don't know. I don't think she's going to be able to touch Heather Brand's 338. It was just a different time in the 90s. And then Alini Reyes just did what Alini Reyes does with with her 347. So I think the cap for Delisle is 4th all time. But I mean, we haven't had somebody get because Brand is like her own universe ahead of Vera Veras. Like Brand has over 100 saves more than Veras. If you get past Veras on that all-time saves list, you're like one of the all-time great goalkeepers. I don't care who you are.
Reyes was inducted to the 19 Hall of Fame UCF. Here's the Bruins here in the box, trying to threaten here. Shot high over the goal. And it'll be a goal kick for the Knights here in the 75th minute. Still 1-1. Bruins with an opportunity there. Cack was defending. What a great move by the Bruin player. But the shot was high.
That Bruin player was number 26, Bridget Marin Valencia.
See, if I was actually broadcasting this, I would have had my roster sheet and all that stuff. But you know, we're just shooting the breeze here, as we say here on the Watchalong stream.
It's been nope, that'll be a throw
in UCF here, 76 minute mark. I think if you're Coach Sahadek, if I would have said, hey, you're 1-1, 76 minute, would you have taken it? I think they would have against this talented UCLA team. I mean, they've played well. You know, give the Bruins credit. They even the equalizer on that corner kick with the header. They executed that very well. But this has been a good match. I had a feeling this was going to be a good match.
I mean, I think the good news about that, the fact that you gave up on that corner there, which was still a good set piece, but UCF have managed to keep UCLA out of the goal through conventional play at the very least. I think that's a pretty solid accomplishment.
I think they've played, I think, a little better in the second half from that standpoint. First half, I thought UCLA had the better control. It's been much more even in the second half. And but we'll see. 70. All it takes is one moment, one shot, one mistake. Anything could happen here. As we're in the 77th minute.
Oh yeah, it all takes is a moment. Mauricio Villalobos liked to talk about that a lot in post game when I would go cover the men's soccer games. I'll tell you what, like to cut to, I don't know why men's soccer and women's soccer can't be good in the same season. It's insane to me that hasn't happened yet, because both programs are pretty dang good programs, and UCF,
That's a
I mean,
foul. That's a foul. That's a foul. Come on. All right. Foul
oh,
on UCLA.
yeah, oh, that's
Did
a
you see the UCF bench like jump up there?
oh, yeah, that's a foul.
By the way, really great job by UCF. Everybody, like all the players, even the players that didn't play, got flown to the UC Los Angeles charter wise, and so great job by everybody. Everybody got to fly for that. Well done. Because as you know, this, I don't know, people may not be aware of this. During the season, you're limited on how many people you could fly. You're flying commercial, like da 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 da. But everybody flew. Even players that didn't get to play, that normally don't dress, they got to fly to experience this. So really cool job by everybody involved on that. 78-minute, 1-1. Tackle there by the Knights. Ball slides out of bounds. Throw in for the Bruins. So throw in here in the 78-minute mark. Look at that video board, huh? For soccer. That's a big video board there.
I think that's the same size video board that Kansas volleyball has, though.
Yeah, you know who doesn't have a video board? Us.
Well, I mean, we repurposed an old basketball arena, and we, at least, I remember.
Saying soccer. I'm saying soccer doesn't have one. Softball doesn't have one.
I'm sure that's on Terry Mohajers to do.
Is that on the Board of Regions on a docket? You follow all that stuff very closely. Oh, here we go. Bruins ball trying to get into the box. 79th minute, threatening here. Shot. Delisle right there with the save. Woo-hoo.
Another save closer to Vera Veris's mark.
She's been good. Delisle's been good. Like that goal that she gave up was not her fault. It was great execution on the Bruins. On the header there that wasn't marked. But Delisle's been good to this point. 79th minute, 1-1. Trace, if you're watching, how you feeling? Trace might be nervous. I don't know. There's no way Trace went to sleep early to get ready for football like Kyle. Kyle is sleeping. In fact, everybody in our staff is sleeping except you and me, Bryce.
Well, Trace actually appeared on this earlier in the show. He said, how much would James Reed have loved this night? Men's basketball win, volleyball win, women's soccer in the NCAA.
He's probably enjoying watching it right now.
Yes, I actually made a cameo on Space Nights the other day with Stephen Leonard and Austin Heck, telling about my James Reed story a little bit. I don't know if you remember this, Eric, but you remember when we tried to do a Twitter Spaces attempt back during the softball?
Yeah.
So
it was overrated, Trace says. That's true. I agree.
Well, so after that whole situation where I tried to kind of stall for time for you to get on, but technical difficulties just wouldn't let it happen. James complimented me afterwards on my ability to kind of stall through that whole thing. It was right. He said it was like right up there with the stuff that Mark Daniels does. And I bring that story up because
hold on, Martin. Oh, knocked away out of bounds.
James was just so welcoming.
Positive too. A lot of positive. Love the gifts. You know, I mean, everything was positive with all the UCF teams, and we dedicated the last night shift last week to him with naming the chat room after him. Knights get a corner kick here, by the way.
UCF Twitter Mafia is honestly quite good.
Of course, we don't know how long Twitter will last, so that's a whole other story. Anna Henderson with a corner kick here in the 81st minute. Big opportunity here for the Knights here, Bryson, here with the corner. Let's see if they can get a good ball here. Good opportunity here. Henderson. Ball headed backwards. Knights with the shot. Wide. It's not bad. A lot of traffic there, but the shot wide. UCLA will have a goal kick. Let's see. Who got the shot off there? Couldn't tell from the angle. See if you see who it was, Bryson. I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell either. They didn't really spend enough time to show.
This is the negative if you're doing remote broadcasting, folks.
Well, I'm watching my television from an angle. Like if you're seeing me look off screen left there, that's where I have my TV going right now, my monitor.
Knights with the ball here. Knights Henderson. Ball in the box trying to find Martin. Martin ball knocked away by UCLA. UCLA with possession. UCLA with possession now at the 82nd minute. I have the match in front of me. So I'm actually not watching you, Bryson. I have the stream up. Obviously, I have the StreamYard up, but I'm actually watching the match while I have the stream down. So I'm technically not seeing you. From time to time, I will click to see the comments. So feel free to still send comments. But that's why sometimes I'm a little slow in the reaction here. So I've got a good internet flow here. As we're approaching the 83rd minute, 1-1 UCLA. By the way, 5:16 to go in the Bahamas. Santa Clara with a 61-53 lead over DePaul. So Santa Clara, that's Steve Nash's alma mater, by the way. That the winner plays UCF 7:00 Sunday night, the championship game.
Oh, UCF's got the ball now.
Pass in the middle. Opportunity, the shot save for the Bruins. Didn't get as much on it. It was a tough angle, but good opportunity there for the Knights there. And that all started with Dario Rajai with a nice touch pass. And just a shot there, not enough on it. But a good effort for UCF there. They've been very aggressive. I think they've had a good second half here. As we're at the 83rd minute. 1-0. It's an interesting question. If you're UCF, do you want DePaul or Santa Clara? DePaul's in the stronger league, the Big East. But, Santa Clara maybe is a surprise team. Maybe it's a team that will, mix it up with Gonzaga in the West Coast Conference. But what an opportunity for this young Knights team to play for a tournament championship on Sunday nights. Meanwhile, Tulsa's up 38-27 on South Florida with about 8 minutes to go in the third. Did you make your picks, by the way? Did you make your picks? You're kind of you need to pick up the correct picks here. We're trying to beat Sons of UCF head to head here, 3-on-3.
Well, I ended up missing last week's picks for obvious reasons. I was away and also sick, so that was kind of on the far edges of my mind at the time. But I think after we're done with this one, I'll definitely be going and doing it. I'll tell you what, the picks, it's been a little rough on me with the pick'em. I'll admit a little bit. No, I couldn't get anything going there.
Well, Trace is going to let you have it when he sees you next time.
I imagine he will. I'm not gonna.
We're approaching the 85th minute. Can you believe, Bryson, we've done this watch along for 85 plus, not 85 minutes, but yeah, we've been on for about 80 minutes straight.
It's the live stream currently says we've been on for an hour and a half at this point. So I would say the amount of game time we missed at the beginning is made up for by the halftime discussion.
And we're about 5 minutes away from extending this. Put it to this way: if this, I'm going to get a drink of water if we go past 90 minutes. So you're gonna have to cover me for a couple minutes if this goes to overtime, because you did the smart thing. You got your water break at halftime. I did not. Of course, I had to deal with overtime basketball in the postgame. By the way, again, you can watch Johnny Dawkins and Taylor Hendricks' postgame on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up because who knows what the future is of Twitter. So you want to find us at blackandgoldbanneret.com. You're going to want to find us on the YouTube channel, on Instagram, and on Facebook. And make sure you are subscribed to the podcast feed wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. I really appreciated the last person that left a review. They liked my work. They liked all the thoughts that I bring to the show. So very positive. Thank you for that. Keep them coming. 86th minute. We'll have night shift tomorrow after the UCF Navy game. Probably around 2:30, right? 2:30-ish. We'll see. I think you're let's see here. Bruins with the ball here. I'm going to see let's follow the action here. Header, cross, deflected out. Bruins still with possession. Trying to go into the box. Cack there in the cover shot. Ooh, did Lyle get a hand on it? If so, that's a corner, and I think it is. She got a hand on it. So that's going to be a corner kick here for the Bruins as we approach the 87th minute.
Managed to get around there. That is UCLA's number 10. That is Ali Lemos, freshman midfielder from Glendora, California.
All right, got to hold on here. Knights got to defend here, and they do. They clear the ball up in the air, still loose. Danger time. Bruins shot. Oh, my goodness. They shot that high. Whoa.
Oh, man. That was just a scrum. I mean, did you see how high that ball went without going out? I thought it was out that first time it went up.
I wonder if there's some wind that played a factor in that, because it looked like the wind may have picked that up and knocked it down a little bit. I don't know, but fortunately for the Knights, that shot went high. That was, oh, boy. Oh, boy. So here we go. 88th minute approaching here. They win a deep ball for Diana Martin.
According to my Weather Channel app, it says there's a gale warning for...
Excuse me? A what?
A gale warning.
What does that mean?
I was thinking wind gale when you mentioned wind.
All right. I'll take your word for it, meteorologist. You're the unofficial meteorologist of Black and Gold Banneret. A much better job than Eric Burris, I might add.
Yeah, here it is. There a gale warning in effect until 2. It says until 2 p.m. PST Saturday, though. So
if anybody can explain what that means, feel free.
Well, we're from Florida. I mean, I don't think. And this is the Weather Channel, by the way. These are like the weather nuts.
All right, here we go. Free kick. Knights here at the 88th minute. Ball to the box, right to the Bruin goalkeeper.
It was on target, but
could be the Knights' last chance here in regulation. We'll see. That was Daria Rajayi with the free kick. Ball went straight. Looked like he was trying to find a Senho. May have tried to get a deflection there, but nothing doing there for the goal. The UCLA goalkeeper was on top of it. Knights do get possession back here, though. So we're approaching the 89th minute. Oh, foul. That's a foul, right?
That's a foul.
89th minute. There's somebody there holding a baby, trying to put him to... I don't know if that's a great idea to have him near the out of bounds there, to have a baby there, but holding him, but whatever.
Each their own.
45 seconds here. Knights with a free kick here. And this is smart. They're going to choose some clockers. They want to make sure that they have the last chance here in regulation. Ball into the box. Ball up in the air. Bruins will get possession here. They're going to clear. They're going to clear it here with about 30 seconds. Ball on the way on the UCF side now. UCF's going to get Olivia Lewis. Deep ball now for the Knights, deflected, knocked down by the Bruins. Bruins with the ball. Stolen. Knights have a chance here. 15 seconds. Can they get one shot off here before the end of the regulation? Martin tries to shoot it, and a save by the Bruin goalkeeper. Knights will get a corner, but the clock's going to run out here. I don't think they're going to have a chance to get the corner. That's a heck of a shot by Martin. It looked like there from an angle. The Bruin had to get a hand on it.
I think it might have missed anyway, and there it is.
We're going overtime for the third straight match. UCF going to overtime. Bryson Turner.
Well, they've got experience at least, so that's a good.
Got experience. That's an understatement. All right, I am gonna cover for me here, because I'm going to get my turn to get a drink of water here. So what do you give the audience kind of a recap here of the busy night and busy matches we get in? Before we know it, we're about 11 hours from kickoff, UCF Navy.
We came into tonight a little bit late in the action. We had about 10 minutes in, and UCF got on the board first, thanks to a goal from Diana Martin with an assist from Kristen Scott. UCF had the lead there for a few minutes there, and then in the 38th minute, Florida native Jackie Gilday for UCLA got the game tying goal with an assist from Ali Lemos, and now they've got to the half at tie 1-1, and now it is still 1-1 as we go into overtime. And for UCF, this is the third straight overtime match for them. They lost in PKs in the American Athletic Conference Tournament semifinals against Memphis, and then they won in penalty kicks last time against NC State when Carolina Lyle had 8 saves before that penalty kick situation. I don't know exactly what the thought process is for this team as they go into this overtime. Do you want to go to penalty kicks, or do you want to get this done right away? I mean, they haven't been able to score yet in the second half, so I think we could see this go to PKs again. But considering how Caroline Delisle's um, Caroline Delisle's ability in front of the net, if they went to penalty kicks, I'd be confident. I'd be reasonably confident. But
I'm glad,
Erica,
I'm glad you'll be confident. I'll be freaking out.
Yeah, I was gonna say Eric has his views on PKs, so.
Well, it's a brutal way, man. It's rough. Like, I mean, you were there, right, for the Memphis match. I mean, how heartbreaking. And that was a conference semifinal match. I just feel awful because your season comes, you fight for over 100 minutes, and it comes down to a save or a goal pull. It's just crazy to me. I'm not saying I have a better solution, but it's tough. But yeah, you're right. We could be headed that way again. I mean, we'll see though. A lot of plus soccer to go here. A lot of soccer to go in this regard. By the way, Greg Lovelady, have you seen this? Greg Lovelady's watching the match. He goes, I can stay up. I can stay up. I can stay up. We all can.
I know. Imagine, I know. Imagine being a UCF fan right now. It's got to be really fun. You're gonna be.
Well, this is soccer. You asked me earlier about what's it like calling soccer. It's intense, man. It's intense, and you're seeing it right now. I mean, this is as dramatic as it gets. Todd Dagenet said on the post he thinks that the penalty kicks is the most dramatic finish in all of college sports. There's people that like it. Yeah. I just feel bad for the athletes and the coach. It's tough, but again, I don't have a good solution of what to do if it's not that. It just is what it is.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. It certainly is a very dramatic way to go. I think the only way that it could be more dramatic, the only other thing that could match that sort of drama that isn't football is free throws in basketball, like very close free throws at the end of a match.
By the way, we appreciate all of you watching with us. Definitely appreciate you all.
Speaking of Greg Lovelady, by the way, I don't know if y'all noticed that the baseball schedule recently dropped for Greg.
I did. I took a peek at it earlier. There's so much going on, but I did see that. Pretty challenging schedule, by the way. Very sneaky. Going to Clemson, Georgia Southern comes here. Pretty sneaky schedule there.
Greg Lovelady.
Florida State comes here.
Stomping grounds in Ohio.
Ohio State and Wright State midweek.
They're currently replaying the goals on the broadcast right now. I gotta say that was a pretty epic slide by Dayana Martin after she made her goal.
That's true. How do you think Alex is failing the SID at UCF? His first NCAA, going to another. I mean, it's got to be tough.
I imagine he has to be beside himself right now. I mean, look, Alex has honestly been residing over some really good teams. He traveled with the track and field team during for their AAC meets where they won both the indoor and the outdoor championship last season. And he's been the women's soccer SID this fall, and now here they are. They're out in Los Angeles. I mean, Alex has been presiding over some pretty dang good teams. And speaking of track and field, will be back. They'll be back. The indoor team will be back to defend that title soon as they come back next year. It'll be fun to see them again. And Renaya Jones return to the track. Another female athlete that has really taken this campus by storm, Eric Lopez.
By the way, Santa Clara is up 69-61 over DePaul with 16 seconds to go. So it's going to be UCF and Santa Clara for the championship there in the Bahamas, the Baja tournament there. 7 o'clock, CBS Sports Network, Sunday night. By the way, think about this, Bryson. Men's basketball beating Oklahoma State in overtime, and now we got women's soccer in overtime. An overtime type of night of UCF athletics here. Pretty dramatic, memorable night. We'll see if this ends on a positive or a negative. but we'll start at overtime here. Whew, buckle up, folks. Again, remember, they'll play 2 overtime sessions here. No golden goal. So they play it out, and then if it's still tied, they'll go to penalty kicks. So we're underway.
So baseball schedule just dropped, Eric Lopez. So when do you think that we're going to see the softball schedule get dropped besides the Clearwater Invitational?
Can't imagine too much long. Maybe next couple of weeks, maybe. Well, you know, I mean, I already know the schedule, but I can't say. You're gonna like the schedule. I'll leave it as that. And actually, if you go to some of the schools' websites, you already can tell who UCF's going to play. Some of the other schools. Here's a hint: opening night will be very familiar. Corner for the Bruins. Here to start overtime.
I'm at 91-20. What are you at?
Not ahead of you. The ball goes out there. Now I'm catching up. I caught up. All right, so we're at the 91-30 mark. 1-1. Try to remember now. What is it? 15. It's they play 2 15 minutes. Is that what it was, Bryce? I'm trying to remember last week.
120 minutes is the full thing. So
yeah, 2 15s basically. Okay. It's midnight, and I got to get up in about 8 hours when Kyle blows up my phone and just says, "You ready?" Ready. You might get all Kyle tomorrow. Who knows? I might be taking a nap at the press box. Who knows? Oh, there's a shot on what I got a hand on. It was the Bruin, the goalie there. That was a great shot. It's going to be a corner for the Knights. That was a Senho. That was a Senho with the right foot. Put a good spin on that. That just got a top of it. My goodness. So a corner for the Knights. Senho's had a good match here. Senho's had a good match.
I'm telling you what, if she isn't the one to get the game-winning goal for a UCF win, then no one else will be more fitting to get it.
Rajai will gonna go for the corner here. Rajai with a corner kick here. The senior out of Gainesville. Of course, her sister played volleyball at UCF. Midfielder of the year in 2021. Scored the PKs last week to win against NC State. Pieces blocked. Knights, though, regained possession. Rajai with the ball. Rajai. Knights trying to get something going here. Getting some possession time. Ball kicked into the box. Trying to find Scott. Scott's surrounded by like 2-3 Bruin defenders. Senho is there, but the Bruins clear. That's been the story. UCLA's put just bodies on Kristen Scott.
Yep, but UCF's been managed to be aggressive without being able to really get it to her all that much.
Ball deep in the box here. A Senho now outside the box. Knights with possession. Rajai. Barton. Kellis Barton with a shot. Oh, beautiful pass, but unable to success there. Couldn't tell which Knight. Was that Hogan? Tiana Hogan with the ball opportunity for the Knights there? I couldn't tell. Or was that Bradley?
That is
19.
That is Maggie Jenkins.
Maggie Jenkins getting some significant minutes here. Part of this depth for UCF. Maggie Jenkins with a touch there. All right, 94th minute. Still 1-1.
Maggie Jenkins has played 50 minutes for this team, according to the live stats on NCAA.com.
Aren't you glad we started this later? My goodness, we're going a lengthy watch along, folks. Hope you like it. Let us know if you want us to do some more of these. We might. Maybe we do one for the Cotton Bowl. Maybe we don't. If we get to the Cotton Bowl. If volleyball's not hosting, maybe we'll do it for volleyball. Hopefully we don't, because that means we would be there in person, Bryce, right? We still would prefer to be there in person. If we're hosting, sorry guys, no watch along. At least not from us. Because we'll be in person.
Well, I mean, if we're hosting, I imagine that, especially in the case of volleyball, they're going to try to see if we can get
offside. That's got to be. Oh my goodness, they didn't call it, but UCF has the ball anyway. But an opportunity for the Bruins.
Get an attendance record for the venue, because the venue. I mean, we had like 1,400 people in the venue for that matchup against.
Well, and I can tell you, I've been told a lot of Houston fans are coming down for that match. Parents and fans, in anticipation of this match. So. I think you'll have a unique environment. All right, Bruins possession here, 95-30. That's where I'm at right now. 95th minute, approaching the 96th minute. Still 1-0. Pretty good night of UCF entertainment, huh?
UCLA on the wing.
And the ball into the box. Knights try to clear, and they do. Good night of entertainment here, Bryson, with men's hoops, overtime, volleyball playing a straight set. Volleyball did us all a favor. They got that match done quickly, so we could just focus on men's hoops and soccer. Here's a shot for the Bruins over the head of Delisle. Did she get a hand on it? No. That should be a goal kick for the Knights as we go to the 96th minute.
That was number 17, Lexi Wright for UCLA from Carlsbad, California.
You love reading those city names, don't you?
Ever since I saw that new Smyrna thing with Gilday,
you're gonna write that. You better write that in your recap for this match.
Oh yeah, I mean she's the only. I mean Gilday is the only Florida player on this entire thing, and she's from the Central Florida area, and she got the goal. What
shot! Stay there, Delisle. Boy, good shot opportunity for the Bruins. Goal corner for the Bruins. Delisle with trying to motivate her defense, but that was a good opportunity for the Bruins. Good pass up the middle. The shot from the middle. Delisle dove, got a hand on it. Boy, that was a really good shot, because if she doesn't get a hand on that, that ball's in the goal in the corner slot there in the goal. So as it is, corner kick, and the Bruins scored a goal. Remember, in the first half, off a corner kick, and nearly scored one recently. So they've been pretty good tonight on the corners. Here's one. This one goes way off, out of bounds.
Currently on the live stat sheet, Caroline Delisle has 7 saves on the night, which, yes, this does tie her with Vera. So that means, according to this right now, she's tied with Vera Veras for the 4th place on the all-time saves list.
She had 8 last week, right?
She had 8 last time. She had 8 before penalty kicks.
You might have to look this up later in the I wonder if that's the most for a postseason match. I wonder what the record is for an NCAA tournament match for a UCF goalkeeper.
Well, it was the most saves Delisle had in a single match this season. 8 was, which really goes to show you how important that back line has been for UCF. This season.
Barton going deep with the ball.
I know we talked about Georgia Eaton Collins, but how about Khalees Barton doing a
She's
solid
played very well. Very physical player, transfer from Washington State. She's done a nice job there. I agree. Those two have been very good. Very good.
Paired up with Matilda Cack, who's been here just as long as Kristen Scott.
Well, I remember that Ariel Young's had some injuries, that really kind of derailed her season a little bit. So, but they had the depth, so it didn't, they were able to overcome that. Bruins with possession here in the 98th minute, 1-1, as we are past midnight Eastern time, 9 p.m. Thank you, Jessica. I hope everybody's having fun.
8. That was the 8th save for Caroline Delisle. She is past Vera Veras. She is now 4th place.
Can you look up what's the most saves in a game in a tournament game? Because I remember you you followed that last year, because Delisle had that one match where she had 11 saves. I'm wondering what the record is for a tournament match. I mean, who knows if they have that.
Tournament matches, like, specifically?
Yeah, in an NCAA tournament match, yeah. Because I know that she, that's nowhere near the regular season record, but I wonder what the tournament record is. As the Bruins here had an opportunity that went wide on the shot. My goodness. We're approaching the 100th minute. The 100th minute. UCF Knights 616. Volleyball question. Is the American a Mickey Mouse conference? I don't know if that was pun intended or not a pun intended. It's not the strongest league. It's the 8th. It's only 8th in volleyball right now, RPI wise. And if UCF does not host, that'll be a part of the reason. Schedule strength could hurt UCF a little bit if they don't host. But again, we got to see how this plays out.
I'm telling you what, I am glad that Houston is going to be going with UCF to the Big 12 in terms of that, because at least there'll be a good volleyball rivalry for them, and they're in the Big 12.
Well, I think this is the UCF volleyball rival. It's not South Florida, who they haven't lost to in over a decade. I think this has been a rivalry that's kind of developed over the last couple of years. The first overtime session is done.
So 8 saves for Caroline Delisle for the matchup. She's tied the mark that she's had last season. This is a season high for her. So if there's one now, hopefully we don't have to have her get another save. but she's currently tied for the most saves in a single match this season with the last match against NC State. And now she came into this match with 224 saves for her career. Add 8, she's now at 232, which puts her at the 4th on her own all-time on UCF's all-time saves list, passing Vera Veras. You've watched Vera Veras play here, Eric. I mean, put this into perspective for me with her passing Vera Veras.
I mean, they're both great. They're both 2-time goalkeepers of the year. They're pretty equal. I have to remember Veras was part of the 13 and 14 team. In fact, I think Veras was the goalkeeper 14. You have to double check me on this. It's past midnight.
2018.
She was 2015 to 20. Wait, what was Veras' years?
Veras is 2015 to 2018.
Oh, that's right. Connie Oregon with, I think, 14. Yeah, Vera Veras was the 17 was the great team that she had. That was probably Sahedak's best team was 17. They were a national seed. They were upset by Washington State in the opening round there. But yeah, no, Delisle has the art. You can make the argument. That's a fun conversation. Veras versus Delisle. I wonder, I don't think Tiff will ever answer that one honestly. Maybe in the offseason. Maybe
I wonder how Alini Reyes would factor into that. I mean,
Reyes is the best one I've seen. Played in the World Cup. I mean, by the way, you know that she was a former goalkeeper coach at UCLA and Cromwell's staff. So she's probably watching this too. And I don't know if she'll be in, I don't think she's in California for it, but I'm guaranteed she's watching this match. As we're about to start the second overtime. So this will be another 10-minute overtime session. And if we're still tied, we're going to penalty kicks. And again, there is no golden goal. I wish they would do golden goal. I don't really like the fact that you continue to play even if somebody scores, but that's just me. So here we go, Bryson. 10 more minutes. Otherwise, we go to PKs for a third straight match. We'll see.
Mike Doty asked, are volleyball and football the only sports where we know from the games who our new rivals are?
If Cincinnati's your football rival, I agree. It's not South Florida. Houston looks like it's going to be the one in volleyball. And
I mean,
women's soccer, Memphis and USF has been their rivals, so that will be interesting to see what happens in the Big 12 for women's soccer. They'll continue to play USF, so I think that'll continue. There's the tackle. Did they call anything? No, they didn't call it. Jesus. All right. Bruins ball here. Softball, USF, Florida is their big rivals. They'll continue to play them in non-conference. I think the women's hoops rivalry is kind of over with Abe leaving. So Bruins here with possession. Try to get a shot off. It's blocked. Blocked on the shot. And fight for the ball. Oh, that's a tackle. Boy, they're letting him play now. Nope, there's a whistle. Good call. Finally. Jeez. Whistle on the foul in UCLA. UCF will have a kick here at 9 minutes to go here at overtime.
I think that was Mia Senho.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at her. I mean, we've been calling her name a good lot these past few.
She's had a really good strong match. She's going to be the part of the future here. When you think about, with all the seniors they're going to lose, she'll be a big key word. Jesus. Jeff, stop talking, Jeff. They're tired. They're playing over 100 minutes. Everybody's tired. I'm tired.
They played over 100 minutes last time. Olivia Lewis there with the thrown. Oh, and we got a UCLA player down. That is number 7. That's Lexi Wright. I mentioned her earlier. I think that's flop.
Probably. Might be cramps. Who knows?
Yeah, they've been going over 100 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Both teams have left it on the pitch here. No, she's limping a little bit. Yeah, see, but she's okay. Gonna take her out. That's smart. Minute, 100 minute. Allie Cook, forward. 1-1. All the scoring came in the first half, but it's been a well-played match. Both teams have been open. It's not been sometimes soccer could be a very dull match with both teams being conservative. That's not been the case tonight. Tackle here. Where's the goal kick? UCF. Good call. Okay. Bryson, we're 8 minutes away, Bryson. Can you believe it, Bryson?
I can actually. This UCF women's soccer team has been like it was good last season, and it just couldn't. It just kept Caroline DeLodge just kept getting peppered with the ball, and I knew that if they were able to fix that defensive issue, they'd be really good again, and they have been. And with soccer, I mean, the way that soccer works, I mean, anyone is able to win with it. At least I think. And UCF has really been punching above their weight, I think, with this UCLA team. And if they end up getting to PKs, I mean, then it's
Anybody's back right there. Oh, Bruins opportunity here. Got loose. Cross shot wide.
That was wide. Ooh, they had an opportunity right there. I mean,
7 minutes. It's under 7. Under 7.
Dang, I think they.
That was a well-executed play by the Bruins, just a little wide.
I think they knocked it off of the back goal post right there.
Yeah, good call on that. Goal kick coming here. Bruins with the possession. Going with the deep ball. Knights defenders get back. They'll throw it out. A throw in for the Bruins here with about six minutes left.
I like that idea. Get your defense grouped up.
Right, regroup. That's a good call on that. Another throw in. We're approaching the 104th minute. 1-1. Somebody's going to the Sweet 16 here at the end of this night, Bryson Turner. Who will that be? We still don't know. Throw in into the box.
Open the box. Caroline Delisle.
Delisle with a save on a beautiful touch from the Bruins. Whoo.
I'm telling you what, Caroline Delisle, like she, it's funny. They didn't get a chance. She wasn't really peppered at the goal as she was as many times. But now this is the type of stuff that I saw Caroline Delisle do all the time last season.
But that's what we said. She had to be big. I mean, this is a talented UCLA team. And she's given her team a chance here. We're 1-1, approaching the 105th minute. 5 minutes away, possibly from penalty kicks. Good Lord, help us all. Bruins with the ball. Trying to get with possession. Rajay putting some ball pressure there. Bruins with possession, though, going deep over the middle. Pass intercepted. Intercepted Cack. Matilda Cack with the possession for the Knights. Now the Knights, midfield. With the ball going deep, cross, corner on the wide side, intercepted UCLA with possession. Bump, no whistle. They're letting them play. We got players on the Bruins, we got players on the Knights down.
Oh,
another tackle. Crowd wants a whistle. Do they get it? It looks like they do. It's a whistle, a foul on UCF. Anna, we're gonna get a card? Nope, just a kick.
That was number 24, Mary Carmen Reyes. That got fouled. Graduate student from Santa Ana. You know what? UCLA, I noticed that we were calling a lot of kind of underclassmen from UCLA. And that was the first, I think, upperclassman name that I've called out anyway. Mary Carmen's been kind of gotten around.
Free kick. Ball's headed. It's going to go out of bounds, but it'll be a throw in, not a corner. It's a throw in for the Bruins. 4 minutes left. How's your blood pressure, Bryce?
Steadily rising, Eric Lopez.
106. Throw into the box. Delisle gets the ball.
Delisle had to go and get that one. And get it. No. And they're going to have to clear that. All right. UCF has a good opportunity for a set piece here. Goes right in the corner. Oh, wow. It didn't go out.
Nope. It's got saved. Anna Henderson. Could be UCF's last chance here. Henderson. Boy, one-on-one. Great defense by UCLA. Boy, UCLA's been really good on the 1v1 defensively. You got Barton with the push. Crowd wants a foul. No, it's a throw in for UCLA. Nope, it is. They caught her. They caught her with the push. So UCLA will get the throw in. 3 minutes to go.
Oh, knocked her down. All
Oh,
that.
yeah, that's a foul. Be a little physical, trying to be physical on UCLA. But again,
Well,
that gives the Bruins a chance here.
they have about
Dangerous moment here. 2 under 3. Ball deep into kick to the box, headed,
nope.
and goes out of bounds. Good. Goal kick for the Knights. 2.5 to go.
Carolina Delisle has really stepped it up this playoffs.
2 and change to go. She may have to go the route of Alini Reyes. Alini Reyes was the goalkeeper in Gainesville, Florida, back in 2011 when UCF beat Florida and then beat North Carolina on penalty kicks to advance to the Elite Eight. This could be a trip to the Sweet 16, could be on the line on PKs.
First time since it would be the first time since 2014 that the Knights would go to the Sweet 16 if they can pull this off here, and it would be a pretty big upset for the
big time, big. No question. A lot of soccer to go between now and then, folks. 1:40 to go. Bruins, ball with midfield. Rajai. Collins. Deep ball. Bruins with the ball. 1:20 to go. Deep ball. Look out. Bruins trying to get a counter. 1-on-1 here. You got Olivia Lewis. Ooh, a sweeping tackle. Ball still in play. After all that, no whistle. We got a Bruin down. She's offsides. Doesn't matter. The Knights get the possession. Cack, who will kick the ball to the corner. Knights trying to maintain possession, but it goes out of bounds. Under a minute to go. Under a minute to go here in the second overtime. UCLA and UCF 1-1. So look at the last play. Cack. Oh, I just lost video. Do you have video, Bryson?
I do have video. I think that's
all right. You're gonna give.
All right. UCF has the ball. They just threw it in, sending it in. Nope. UCLA sending it back. They're just kind of keeping it in the air at the moment, and they're sending it up. I think that this is probably going to go to PKs at this point. And oh wow, UCF just got dragged down. They're letting them
under
play
10 seconds. I got the feed and
see if they can make something happen here.
That's it. Oh my goodness. For the third straight match, UCF will go to penalty kicks.
Oh man. I need to refill my water again. Again.
Quick. I got you covered. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to penalty kicks for a trip to the round of 16. My goodness, what an event. 1-1, UCF and UCLA. They've played 110 minutes, couldn't decide it. And UCF will try to now win a second straight PKs and advance to the Sweet 16. The winner to play Northwestern. It's been a heck of a match. And it comes down to PKs. If nothing else, UCF's got plenty of practice. Remember, they lost in PKs to Memphis in the American Conference semifinal. They won the PKs against NC State last week in Raleigh. And now they're in penalty kicks here against the Bruins of UCLA with a winner to take on Northwestern on Sunday night in the round of 16 in Los Angeles. So this is a pressure cooker either way. This is a pressure cooker. Coach Sahaydak even said, hey, maybe the fact that we played Memphis, there was a reason why we had to go through that because it got us prepared for NC State, and it did. And now here we go. A third straight penalty kicks for UCF. The last time, this is just unbelievable, Bryson. Unbelievable. This is unbelievable. This is going to be the
Mike Doty said, I need a drink. Time to start tailgating early. I mean, I got my drink. It's not alcoholic, but it's a drink.
Yeah, that's a good way.
We have 19 people watching along with us here on the Black
Monster number. You guys are awesome, and you're passionate. This is the diehard with passionate UCF fans, and what a great sporting event to do this. as I lose my video feed again. That's not a good omen. Why am I losing my video feed now? I'm going to reboot. Come on, guys. We don't need to have video feeds. Is this my internet issues or is
I think it's the internet issues. My video's working, and they're on a commercial right now with Brie Larson and a niece.
NBA video game. All right, I got it on. Yeah, got it on. And I still going to stick around for post game. You're going to have to write about this match. Heck, you might still be writing by the time I wake up.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
I mean, hopefully the post game works. I mean,
they're going to try some different things. The bad news for me is it's not going to be a quickie. It's not going to be quick. So, I'll still be up, I guess. But hey, man, what are you going to do, right? You live once. Like I said, Kyle's the star anyway tomorrow on night shift anyway, Bryce. Just ask Kyle all the questions. I'll be like half asleep. Although no, what I'm going to do is caffeine. When I get, they do have, as long as they have soda in the press box, I'll be fine.
I believe they do have some soda. They have that Coca-Cola little refrigerator that they have in there.
That's what I like to hear. So I'll be kicking. That'll be kicked in early. That'll be enforced tomorrow to grind it out. Like I said, I'm banking on these two teams to not disappoint. The two best running teams in the American to run a lot tomorrow. Run the ball a lot, folks. That's what they like to do. And we think that's what they'll do tomorrow. But that's actually, it's technically later today. It's technically later today, Bryson. It's game day for UCF football. I don't know if you're aware of that.
It's game day against Navy.
Yeah.
It should be fun. I mean, Navy is technically. I mean, we've been saying that UCF is like kind of the top rushing team in the conference, but like discounting Navy because Navy runs the ball so much, because it's kind of baked into their DNA as much as it is. It's weird because like the stats sort of lie a little bit when you're with talking about Navy, because
Greg Lovelady update. Greg Lovelady still up, says let's go ladies. Greg fired up, man.
This women's Mike Doty says this women's soccer match is going to be longer than the UCF Navy football game.
He may not be wrong. He might not be. That's a great bet. You may have to keep track of that, Bryson. That could go either way on that. That's a good. That could go either way. Could be close. Of course, on Sunday, Bryson, women's soccer volleyball won the match against Cincinnati. They watched the penalty kicks on the court.
Oh, Katie Bradley. Somebody had a win. Katie Bradley first shot penalty kick.
Yeah,
she got denied. Did not go in. That was that didn't really put enough speed on it, I think.
Interesting. They had a Senho on Sunday with the first one, and she missed on the first one on Sunday. So now UCLA with the first kick opportunity against Caroline Delisle, and that's a goal. So 1-0 UCLA in penalty kicks here after one round.
Yeah. Delisle just went in the wrong direction on that one. But we were down last.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this is guessing. I mean, yeah. This is all guessing. I mean, it's guessing game. I mean, I don't like it personally. I wish there was a different way to resolve this, but I'm not smart enough to come up with that. All right. So who's up next, Bryson? Here, let's see. You're gonna have to help me out with the numbers here. The pressure's on UCF now. They just got to.
I think this might be Jay Barquette. Let me double check. I think I saw an 18.
No, that's not Jay.
Yeah. Who?
Oh,
thought I saw
hit the post.
Oh no! Yeah. Oh.
That's 19, I think. 19. It's 19, not 18. It's 19.
So that's Maggie Jenkins.
Yep.
Oof.
Not a good start.
No, it is not.
See, this is why off the crossbar at the top.
Lyle's gonna need to really come up on this.
Now you're really up against it now because you're 0 for 2, and Boy, you're asking a lot of Caroline now. You're really asking a lot.
This looks like Sunshine Fontes for UCLA, number 50. And
That's a goal.
she got it. Yeah, this isn't looking good. All right, who's coming up for penalty kick number 3 for UCF?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh, it was off the post again.
Did that really just happen?
Wow. Off the
That was
ball.
off the post. Didn't go in. My
Oh my
God.
gosh, that's the second time.
I don't think I've ever seen that before in PKs. Well, that's not a.
That is not a great sign at all.
No, I think this pretty much. It's all luck, man. I hate PKs. I told you.
Yeah, I think if UCLA makes this one, it's over, right?
Pretty much. Yeah, you're right. Good call. Good math by you. I'm too distraught.
I'm looking. I'm looking at I'm looking at the scoreboard with this just awful. And that's in. And there it is. End of the road for UCF. Made it back to the second round for the first time since 2014. But that's where the road is going to end as they fall in penalty kicks to number 1 seed UCLA. And man, penalty kicks just didn't really work out this time around.
No, it wasn't meant to be. You hit a crossbar and a post.
Sophomore Lily Reale of UCLA got the winning final penalty kick there for him.
Well, Bryson, now you know why I hate PKs. You know what's the odd thing about this, though, Bryson?
What is that?
Officially, the match is a draw. So UCF
Only 2 losses.
never lost. Only 2 losses. What was the last loss? North Carolina in September?
I will double check that.
Yeah, it was after the Ole Miss match was North Carolina. They never ended up losing another match. Their last quote 2 losses are PKs, and in soccer that goes officially down as a draw that you lose on PKs. But
how funny that both losses ended up being back to back, that Ole Miss and UNC.
Yeah. Listen, they should hold their head high. They played a heck of a match. That's a talented UCLA team. It was a good match. And I told you, I've been on record. I hate PKs. It's a crapshoot. And but they have nothing to be ashamed of. That was a great run, Bryson. They pushed UCLA to the limit. Second round, literally kick away from maybe going to the round of 16. But man, what a fun group! What a great group! And it stings now. It's going to sting now, but they have, like I said, nothing to be ashamed of. That was a heck of a ride, and that was a heck of a match. They played well. Bryson. Unfortunately, the sport can be very cruel.
Oh yeah, they defended really well. I mean, heck, UCLA just had a really good response with the goal. I mean, I think that corner kick by UCLA that managed to get in like that really proved to be the difference maker right there. And that was just a really good play by UCLA. But I mean, you look at the history of Tiffany Roberts-Sahadak here at UCF. This is the deepest run that she's ever made that's not 2014. And I mean, and considering the drought, the postseason drought that this team has been in since 2017, I think you take this.
Absolutely. Successful year to build on. Great senior group. Speak of the senior group here. I got to step out for a second, but to speak of the seniors, you've covered them here all year. Really a great impact for them, like the Kristen Scotts of the world, a lasting legacy.
Oh yeah, Kristen now finishes her career tied for 6th place on the all-time UCF goal scoring list with Courtney Whitten for 33 goals. No one in the Tiffany Roberts Zahadak era has gotten that many goals ever. So great job by Kristen Scott. Caroline Delisle, she may come back. She has another year of eligibility available to her if she wants it, but she's already passed Vera Veras for fourth all time in career saves. Daria Rajai, midfielder of the year last year. Great stalwart position there. Mathilde Kack, holding down the back line. She managed to finally get some good reinforcements this season. And Georgia Eaton Collins, who's also a senior, if I recall correctly. This is a big group. This is a good group. There's a lot of reasons why they came back. It's clear that they really wanted this, and they managed to make it into postseason play. Like, they finally did it. I mean, it's funny because they first joined in 2018 and they never were able to get to the postseason until now, and they managed to make it deeper than any other group that Tiffany Roberts Zahadak has had aside from that 2014 team. So absolutely well done by all these women. Khalees Barton and George Eaton Collins, great job coming in here from Washington State and Florida, respectively. Mallory Olson, unsung hero offensively this season. Deanna Martin, I mean, with that goal there to have given the opportunity to succeed. Deanna and Mallory Olson, very underrated aspect of this offense. Kristen Scott has dominated, but Olson and Martin did a really good job supplementing him. Anna Henderson, also redshirt senior as well, transferred here from Louisville. She also got her contributions in on the offense as well. There's a lot of players that are listed as seniors on this roster. Like next season, and I think this is a very great culmination, I think, for them. I mean, for a group for a senior class like this that hasn't been able to make it to the postseason at all, this is a really good run to go out on, I think.
Again, nothing to be ashamed of. A heck of a run, man. This was a fun group to watch. Kristen Scott, one of the great goal scorers in the history of the program. Daria Rajai, one of the greatest midfielders in program history. Caroline, we'll see if she comes back or not. A heck of a run. They ran into a great team against UCLA. They had, I mean, LSU got blown out by Florida State today. They were right there. So let's wrap it up here because you are going to write a recap on this. I'm going to wait on a post game. I'm actually going to try, we'll see if they have a post game there. If they do, we'll post it on the YouTube channel. Thanks to everybody to tune in tonight for this watch along. This was fun, Bryce. Did you have fun? Other than the result stinks, but outside of the result, this was fun. And, we wanted to do this to promote the soccer, the great program of the sport. Tough loss, but that's a shame. Keep it on blackandgoldbanneret.com. Bryce will have a full recap of the women's soccer season coming to an end in dramatic fashion with PKs against UCLA. Obviously, we have a lot of coverage of football. UCF Navy on Saturday. We'll be at night shift after the football game. Kyle Nash and I will be at the stadium after the game. Bryson will be hosting. I think Andrew will help you out. He'll be on location. He'll be helping you out on night shift, I think. And, we'll see how football does. Kick off a little bit less than 11 hours. Thanks to everybody that tuned in with the comments and the questions and tuned in at whatever point during these watch-alongs. We'll let you know if we do these again. We'll do night shift. Make sure you tune in for night shift on Saturday, Bryson. And, man, I'm kind of bummed out that it's a women's soccer season. It was a fun one. And a successful year. We'll dive into more of postmortem for women's soccer in the podcast and beyond in the coming days. But, hey, what a day of sports. Volleyball wins straight set. Men's basketball overtime, 17-point down, beat Oklahoma State. They're playing Santa Clara for the championship game Sunday night in the Bahamas, CBS Sports Network. And then soccer with a dramatic match against UCLA. Bryson, this was fun, sir.
Yes, indeed. I had fun doing this with you, Eric Lopez. I mean, talking with talking with you about all these different UCF sports, getting a chance to have their time in the sun and having fun just watching UCF having a very good postseason run for first time in a while that they've gotten this far, and with watching a really good group go out on a really good game. I mean, last season women's soccer kind of missed out on the women's success, like track and field, volleyball, women's basketball, and so to see them be able to kind of put it together this season, hopefully we'll be able to see them be a part of the success that successful UCF women's programs as the ball is kind of in volleyball's court to get to their post season. And of course, they have that great Black Friday matchup against Houston that is in the cards soon. But it's a good season. Comes to an unfortunate end in PKs. But it was fun. It was fun going through this with you, going for about 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I might regret it. When I wake up in a few hours. But no, I won't regret it. I won't regret it. That's fine. All right, Bryson. Thanks to everybody for tuning in here. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow us on blackeagleBanneret.com. Bryson's going to get to work. He's going to try to write. And we're going to see if we're going to have post-game with soccer. And if we do, we'll try to provide that for you. And just to keep it with us, we're going to have ongoing coverage in about 12 hours, less than 12 hours. We'll be at the football stadium kickoff for UCF and Navy. So for Bryson Turner, I'm Eric Lopez. We hope you've enjoyed this special edition of our UCF Watchalong here on Black Eagle Banneret YouTube channel.